Pardon me. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? How's it going? You all should be able to hear me. Let me check on my phone to see. Actually, let me check on. Yeah, I should be live. I should be live. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going, people? It's been a while. It has been a while since the last time I went live. If you all can hear me, feel free to put a one in the chat. If you all can hear me, feel free to throw a one in the chat. Let's see. See if the audio coming across clear. Okay, Winford. Hey, welcome, Winford. Hold on one second. Let me throw this in there. I can hear me. Welcome. Free Zone Lou. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here, Winford. I can hear me. Free Zone Lou. Thank you all for being here, y'all. Thank you all for being here. Let's see what I typically do. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here, y'all. It's been a while. Yeah, good on my side for sure. Been busy with work. Submatics. Yeah, it's been a while working on a night shift. Yeah, I've been kind of working on a night shift too. I have a customer in the Middle East. No, I'm sorry, not the Middle East. Malaysia. In Malaysia, so they have the same Japan time. So right now their day is starting, and a lot of times I'm on meetings with them around this time. So right now it's Eastern time. It's 9:20 p.m. But on their time, Japan time, it's 9:20 a.m. So yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. So that's another reason why I haven't really been streaming late at night, because I work during the day, but then I'm also put a couple of hours in during the evening, and with family and other personal projects, I really don't have time to stream a whole lot. So, the stuff that I've been dropping here and there videos. Hopefully you all have been enjoying. I dropped something on MGM not too long ago, so hopefully y'all have liked that. But yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody that's coming in. Before the billions, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you all from being here, from Maddox and Before the Billions. Welcome here. Octavius, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, so today's stream, I really don't have a huge, I don't have a huge list of things that I'm trying to go over. Kind of want to make it like a tech and chill, but want to go over a couple of different things. Some stuff that I've been seeing in these YouTube streets or on X or Twitter. There's been some interesting things about some salary inflation stuff, but even some cybersecurity news. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me just drop the intro joint, and then we can jump right into the content. All right, let's start it off. Welcome back to Struggle Security, where we are normalizing struggling, like I say all the time, in cybersecurity. And today we are going to be just having a live stream, kind of cybersecurity or tech and chill. And I guess the first question I have, oh, hold up, let me update it. First question I have for you all is, one second. It's going to be a good one. Hold on one second. Let me throw this there. Say that. And then, so the first question is this, right? Here, I'm not even going to make it floating. I'm going to have it. Hold on one second. I'm going to make it stationary. Huh? What happened? Uh-oh. Well, let me get my case correct. One second. Boom. Save it. Show. What happened? Has AI taken your job yet? For those who are in tech, has AI replaced you? Oh, what's good, Blade Runner? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Free Zone Lou said no. Akemi said no. Right, but hey, earlier in the year, what happened? Everybody was like, AI is coming. Artificial intelligence is going to take your job. You will no longer be employed. And I'm not saying that, that there aren't going to be certain jobs that will be, I guess, eradicated or changed or omitted to some degree. But has it changed anything yet? I'm seeing some notes. I'm seeing some no's. I mean, it's even interesting to the point where I'm seeing it even implemented less within the work environment. Right. At first, we were using like ChatGPT and Bard and all these artificial intelligence products in order to better, I guess, do things easier. But Devon said, "Really? I never knew. I needed them. I'm needed." Devon Johnson said he's needed. Yeah, welcome to the chat too. Devon Johnson said that he's needed. For those who are just joining, we just starting it off with a nice little question here. But for those who just came into the chat, get one of these. But the first question is, listen, has AI taken over your job? Not me. Not me. It's early days. Yeah. Well, are you saying that it's too early to tell right now? Because that could be a possibility. Listen, I'm not beyond correction here. Right. I just know what's currently happening. What's currently happening is that AI hasn't taken my job. I don't think it's taken many. It hasn't taken Akinyemi's, not Free Zone Lou. Maybe it is too early to judge, but I'm not. Actually, I think that I've read something recently that said that there has actually been a decrease in the utilization of Chat GPT. Right, so there was this massive burst of users that initially jumped into the app, and many people signing up. And I think it's come to the point where it's starting to decrease a bit. It's starting to go down. The utilization of Chat GPT has gone down. Now, I still use it for certain things, right? For writing certain emails and kind of correcting grammar and getting things right and asking certain questions here and there. But it's not like it replaces anything that I do from a work environment. I think another thing is that people were saying that Chat GPT is going to replace, or artificial intelligence is going to replace Google. I don't know. I still use Google more than Chat GPT. I think most of you do too, right? I'm still Googling things regularly. I haven't seen the effects of Chat GPT on Google. Now I have seen that there's some integrations. I think there's like a Bard integration within like the Google search engine. It's actually really annoying because it's like I'll search something because I had it enabled for a second, but I actually disabled it because I saw it was enabled. Every time I would search for something, it will give like a Bard type of response. And Bard is the Google version of Chat GPT. It's like it's a artificial intelligence engine, right? Large language model. So I actually disabled it because it was annoying. But yeah, I think that we got a little bit of a consensus from our chat is that AI hasn't taken our jobs yet. It hasn't taken mine, hasn't taken yours. Actually, I've been hearing less and less about it, honestly. Within the last several months, I've been hearing less and less about it. What's good, Astro? Welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the chat. Hold up 1 second. Get one of these. Welcome to the chat. Winfrey said, I regard it as an efficiency tool, a glorified BFF application aid. What's a BFF? Best friend forever? A BFF application aid. Is that what you use it for? Maybe I'm saying the wrong acronym. But yeah, an efficiency tool. I think that that's a very good way to put it. It can make you more efficient at some of the things that you do. I know that I have, so say for instance, I'm doing some type of assessment and I'm using a tool that I haven't used in a while, right? Say for instance, it's like a Windows Active Directory, some type of PowerShell, right? Some type of PowerShell command. I might throw it in Chat GPT in order to understand, to make sure that my command is the correct command that I need to run to do what I wanted to do, right? So that's something, right? It makes me more efficient rather than fat fingering. And I don't know if you all have used PowerShell a lot, but it'll give you those like that red feedback to say this is wrong, the command is incorrect, you're not using things right. You can use Chat GPT to make your commands efficient so that you don't get that red feedback from the terminal. Yeah, Winfrey, she said yes. She said resume, cover letters. Okay, yeah, resume, cover letters. Absolutely, you can have it summarize things. I think I even use it at time. Like I've used it to write cover letters, right, for job applications. That's another one. Winfrey said never thought of using it in that way with PowerShell. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because if you haven't used the tool for so long, and say for instance, there's like some new, because Windows is always coming up with new commandlets, and people are making new commandlets for PowerShell in order to do certain things. So you might be trying to get the Windows administrators right within the Active Directory environment. You might want a quick one-liner for that rather than trying to find a report that you wrote a while ago or trying to find some commands from before. You could just throw that junk in Chat GPT, say, I want to accomplish this and accomplish that. What's the best commandlet to run within PowerShell to get the information that I need? So, an efficiency tool. Boom, right? I can say struggle family. Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. And for that. So yeah, just want to start it off on that note that at the moment I'm really not seeing a whole bunch of Chat GPT and artificial intelligence taking over our jobs. It's not taking over the whole work environment yet. Just kind of giving a little update, right? Just kind of giving a little update. Okay. Anything there? Anything there? Salute, Professor Black Ops. Salute, salute, salute. And actually, let me go ahead and drop the link. I know Professor Black Ops always drops the link. I jump in his chat, but this is for anybody who want to come up. We could do like a little ride along. We're just going to be talking and discussing maybe for an hour or so. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Got a couple of things to discuss. But yeah, feel free to hit the link anytime. I'll bring you up. And then we can kind of go through some of this content together. It's interesting because I want to hit on some stuff. And Professor Black Ops was there for some of the conversations. I know I'm late on it because we talked about it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago or so on this channel. Yeah, and this is also what I want you all to do too. Anytime that you all might have a question, even if it's not on the subject that we're talking about, feel free to drop it right there in the chat, and then we'll do our best to be able to answer it and talk about that subject. In Blade Runner, perfect timing. He mentions that, hey, he or she mentions that, hey, I'm new in cybersecurity and currently taking the Google certification. Been hearing a lot of great things about that cert. I had a good run as a graphic designer so far. Any tips? I think that I've been hearing a lot of good things about the Google cybersecurity certification. I think there's a couple of things that I want to say about that. One thing that you want to look at when you're requiring certifications is the certification reputation, right? What is the reputation to the greater cybersecurity industry? And how would that weigh in you being able to acquire a job, right? Because there are some certifications out there that provide a lot of good information, but they are just very much so under the radar for the recruiters for jobs in cybersecurity. And I think that the reputation for the Google cybersecurity certification is growing, is growing at the moment. And here's Professor Black Ops in here right now. But like I was saying, I think that is growing at the moment. That's the Google cybersecurity certification. But at the same time, I'm not seeing it on a whole lot of job applications. So I would say to maybe if you are going for that certification, probably lump it with something with a little bit more, I guess stay time in cybersecurity, like a security plus, where you will see that across the board on a lot of different cybersecurity job postings. But yeah, that's kind of what I initially want to say is that look at some of those certifications that have a longer reputation within the overall field. And welcome, Professor Black Ops. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through as always. I think you got another camera, didn't you? They look like a new camera.
No, I had a little more lighting. I'm
okay.
Trying to my lighting game. So
yes, man, lighting is so underrated. So like I got like 2 different lights here. Well, actually 3. I got one in the back, I got one here, and so they're kind of hitting off the wall. but
Yeah.
you can see like it can make a big
Huge
difference in
difference.
what your camera looks like. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I said
man.
the same thing. I like my camera looks new, but no, I think you hit it on the Google search.
Yeah.
And I interviewed somebody for Google, and we were kind of discussing that. I only see Google stuff on like research stuff, PhD
Okay.
stuff. You know, like you said, I don't see it across the board as much. I think it's a good
Yeah.
search because Google's backing it. But I mean, we both do a lot of fair work. I don't think I had one customer or one person I talked to was using Google's cloud. Now everybody's on Azure
Dang.
and AWS. That kind of
Yeah.
and when I did my little AWS back then, I think Google had 33. Microsoft had 24. I think Google had like 6. Then it was split
Yeah.
up with everybody else. Rackspace, Oracle,
Mm-hmm.
and that. So I'm with you on that. So
Yeah. And that Google side of cybersecurity certification, like I said, I think it's growing. Is growing in the field, but at the same time, it doesn't have the same reputation and the stay time of like a Security Plus as a starter or entry level certification that organizations are looking for. Yeah. Some people hitting it. Yeah. Oh, so King 318 says, salute everyone. Welcome, welcome. Maddox said he's doing a Google cybersecurity certification. Now, see, but the thing about Maddox is that he has a whole bunch of other certifications.
Right.
We got a whole bunch of other certs. He posts about them all the time. So, you know, I think, and that's another one for somebody who's a little bit more seasoned in cybersecurity. Maybe adding the Google cybersecurity cert might be something that will be of value to you because it might be able to refresh some of those early concepts and be able to grow some of your knowledge base. So that might be something that you want to do for somebody like Maddox there. Yeah. Atkins said he has the Google IT support certification being advertised on job descriptions as preferred or required. Okay. Well, that's right. So typically, if you're talking about like an IT support, talk about a help desk type of job. So in many times, what that ITIL is still foundational. CompTIA A plus, CompTIA Network Plus. Those are foundational to some of those entry level help desk type of roles. So I'm saying go with what the companies are looking for first, right? And then maybe you want to layer on some of those other more specified certifications. So
have you seen a pickup in Google? Like I said, I haven't seen it much anywhere from the cloud. Like I said, I haven't.
Yeah.
Even when I was looking, I very rarely saw Google Cloud, advertised. I don't think I've ever seen it to be. I'm sure if I look, it's out there, but I never when I was searching, I never seen it like pop up.
Same. I've mainly seen it. I've mainly seen it with like Coursera. So Coursera offers, and I actually got a video coming up for Coursera, like a partnership, a sponsored video. But they offer a lot of those Google cybersecurity certifications, those Microsoft, those IBM certs, or training classes. So they have a lot of those on their platform, and they advertise them heavy. But at the same time, again, I don't see them all the time on those job applications. So
you think Google paying? I think Google's spreading money around. Now Google got
Yeah.
they got old money, so I think
there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
They
That's
need to
what
call PBO,
I
man.
think
I need
so.
some more barbecue. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, put your email address in your about section, or put something like, hey, you know, if you want advertisers, let me know. But then go, that's the only way that they reach out to me.
I got reached out a couple of times. Well, we talked about it. I don't know why I want to be a little bigger, but it is.
No, don't do it now.
But...
Do it now. Maddox and Winfrey is laughing at me or laughing at us or something. She's just laughing.
I'll tell you real quick before you move on. Since Oracle got part of that $9 billion government cloud, I see them a little more.
Who's that?
Oracle.
I've been seeing some Oracle Cloud here and there.
I still love Oracle. So I think Oracle getting more traction than actually Google.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised they weren't part of that $9 billion cloud.
Right.
Big three. Well, Google got some, but I was surprised Oracle got in there.
Well, you know, Oracle owned the database game.
Facts.
Speaking of, my boy Keep It Techie, thank you so much for the support. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the support.
That's how my first bag. I was an Oracle DBA.
Yeah. And there it is, right? Having a lot of organizations already locked into your database solution, connecting those databases to some type of cloud solution for storage, where you're going from off-prem to a cloud solution. I mean, I bet you that their cloud solution just finally integrates with their database solutions out
The thing I see though a lot of times is, and I
there.
don't want to do that anymore. Oracle's fees are so high. Everybody switching from Oracle to AWS's DynamoDB. So everybody's trying to get off
Okay,
Oracle because the licenses are so high.
really?
The weird thing is though, SQL Server, I guess they got everybody like this. So hell, they price is close to Oracle now. I
Oh
mean,
wow!
Oracle was astronomical, but hopefully Keep It Tech you can chime in on that. So I
I was
see.
I was I was just about to say, perfect timing on the SQL Server. Keep It Techie just released almost a 2 hour course on SQL Server. So he has a course, and here I'm gonna throw
Was it? I thought it was MySQL. Was it SQL Server or
I'm
MySQL?
I'm sorry, it is MySQL.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
MySQL. Yep,
I'm
you
getting
are
old. I
right.
thought it was me. I'm like, didn't I just see
Oh,
that? I can do a little about
I'm putting it
SQL
in the
too.
chat
So
right here. And then thank you so much for the super chat. And then just take a look at speaking of databases and SQL, Keep It Techie has a 2 hour plus MySQL course. So yeah, take a look at that there for sure.
I saw
I'm
that
sorry,
too.
what were you saying?
Yeah, I saw that too. Like the MySQL. I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I just got so much on my plate. I was reading some R5s and RPs and my head hurt. And I saw you
Yeah,
went
man.
live. I was like, because now one hidden gems now is federal. All your RFI and RPs, you gotta have security language in there and what you
Okay.
HIPAA, FERPA, FISMA. So
Yeah.
I've been reading
I
that
know
to make sure. Go ahead.
this is first quarter for us. Is this first quarter for y'all too, or is this like
Mhm.
fourth?
Fourth, we just on a
Okay.
traditional calendar.
So y'all trying to get rid of budget, probably, is what's
No, they
happening.
bid no work. They
Okay.
I work for a large fintech and they bid on government work. So part of that
Okay.
is they get the RFI because two is this sometimes at the end of the year you got money you fed you trying to dump it because you might not get it
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah.
they bid no work. Then I had some young guys they're trying to get in the game, so I was trying to help them
Mhm.
bid on some work because when you've been on federal work, especially security, that's a whole different game. And what's your
Absolutely.
security program? What's your policies, procedures? Do you got an ATO? Blah blah blah, all that stuff.
All that
So,
type of stuff. Yeah.
so I,
So
I'm
you're
gonna have
going
to
through it
charge.
right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to charge them some more money. But go ahead,
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Again, take a look at Keep It Techie's course. I put the link down there in the chat. It's for the MySQL. It's 2 hours long. If you're looking at getting into databases, he kind of goes over it from step to step to step, and it's timestamp too. In the
Yeah.
event that you might skip ahead and you might have some additional skills and abilities, you might want to skip ahead and jump to the stuff that you might want to get refreshed on.
Yeah. Then
But
real
even
quick is when
Mhm.
you from a cybersecurity perspective, most times when you're talking about your cybersecurity data, it's in a database.
Yep.
So you kind of need those skills, some basic SQL, how it connects. Usually
Yeah.
there's JDBC or ODBC, how to connect, how you
Mhm.
encryption. So as you become a senior level in this cybersecurity game, especially on the blue team side, you need to know how to protect that, put it on a subnet in the back and have three
Yep.
tiers. So database is definitely part of the cybersecurity game.
100%. 100%. And nicer. I'm thinking about writing a book. That's a good question, but it's time consuming. So actually, probably before I drop a book, I'll probably drop a course. I'll
Facts.
probably
That's
drop
what
a
I was
course
thinking.
before
I'm
a book.
working on my
Yeah.
course now, man.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on.
Uh,
I got an outline for it and everything, but it's just time consuming. So I got to wait till maybe like the holiday time when stuff slows down a bit. I'll be able to take a little bit of time off and focus on some passion projects like a
no,
course or
facts.
something along those
You,
those lines. But great question though. Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. It's just your just
Yeah, this
got.
one for you. This
Oh,
one for you.
congrats, Corey. Reach out to me if you
Congrats.
got any general questions or you get stuck. I
Yeah.
had some guy hit me up this morning because he's in Australia. He was
Okay.
asking me some access. He's got a finding on rogue access. I don't. I think they
Mm.
got overprivileged. So I told him, onboarding, offboarding, because when they leave, you gotta make sure they delete their stuff. But not long story short, Corey, if you need anything from me, man, reach out. Congratulations on
Yeah.
your internship. And
That's
that's
what's
really
up.
what I'm working on is my second level of GRC. If y'all familiar with Simply Cyber, he does
Okay.
stuff. I'm a set. Well, I keep saying I'm gonna hopefully set up a fake company. Hopefully, get Gay to
Yeah.
help you come through and do an audit with a gap analysis. So you're trying to do an ATO, and that's what you see a lot of. I think Gay can come in and do a penetration test and show us all the
Yeah.
ways we set it up, and those will be findings that we have to fix. Well, not fix. We say the gap that we get at to the engineering team, the cloud engineering team. Shout out to Keep It Techy, the DBAs, what they need to lock down. So that's kind of what
Yeah,
the course is going to be. Go ahead.
100%. Yeah, no, it's good. Blade Runner's here. Says he or she says I'm from the UK and don't know any other way to get into cybersecurity unless I stack certifications. Okay, so that's possible. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that, right? Getting certifications and then kind of
Oh, yeah.
jump to a role. I know that in the last organization I used to do some work with the NCSC. So that's the national. What does that stand for? NC, because I know that that's the UK. Stands for the National Cybersecurity Center. So it's like the government agency for the United Kingdom's cybersecurity program. So I would say look into opportunities with the NCSC because just like it is over here in the US, the government has a lot of cybersecurity roles, and I know that the NCSC also has several. So take a look at the NCSC and see if you qualify for some of those type of role. And I'm sure that they go with some certifications there too and some foundations. But yeah, take a look at that organization as government agencies.
Blade Runner, what's your background? And piggybacking on what Gabe said is ISO is real big on there. So a lot of times when you do government, they real big on ISO 2701, 23, I think 13. So I would kind of Google the area, but I would put ISO. And from a GRC perspective, you are understanding those compliances. Most governments in UK is once again ISO. I think 2701, 2, 13. So I will look at that. I don't know if you got a business background or a tech background. Either way, understanding those compliances will help.
Absolutely. 100%. And as Astro said, like the video as you all are here, got several people in here right now. Again, take a look at Keep It Techie's course on MySQL 2-hour course. Atkins is laughing about something. I'm sure I'm behind in some way, shape, or form.
Facts.
Astro loving the content. Yeah, anytime. Keep It Techie, anytime. I'm catching up. I like Keep It Techie's courses. Help me to understand with an Ubuntu installation. Awesome. There we go. Right. He has something with the Ubuntu installation. I check out his MySQL stuff. I can say, where do you get valuable volunteering experience in security as a future GRC analyst or blue team specialist? Yeah, that's heavy. You got something on that?
I will look on LinkedIn and post stuff on LinkedIn. A lot of people looking at volunteers, especially nonprofits. They're probably looking for volunteers because a lot of nonprofits because they're getting federal money, so they're starting to put a little more federal compliance and federal security on those nonprofits. So I would definitely look at the nonprofit game. If you go on, I'm thinking of, I would start there.
Okay.
I would just post
looking for nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, I would just post it on LinkedIn, man. People look for people to do stuff for free.
They do.
Right. So I would just post it. I'm sure you're familiar with Simply Cyber. They have a huge community on LinkedIn. Shout out to my man Kev Tech. Every time he posts something, I get like 30 new followers on LinkedIn. I gotta get big. So I would hit up Simply Cyber on LinkedIn and Professor Gerald. He's Simply Cyber. Those two guys with Kev Tech. Both of those guys, along with Keep It Techie as Discords, those are pretty active too. So I would hit all those.
Absolutely. And even speaking of Simply Cyber, he has some courses here. Let me go ahead and share one with you all.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
He has a course.
Yeah, it's good. He's got that low cost course. I think you're about to show it.
Yeah, so this is actually on the TCM security page. If you all have ever seen this is the question that I asked earlier. I asked, was AI taking our jobs yet? Answer was no.
Go ahead. I'll comment after you finish.
For sure. So speaking of Simply Cyber, so he has a course on TCM Security's page. And here, let me zoom in a little bit here. And so TCM Security is the same guy that does what's his name? Cyber Mentor. He has a YouTube channel called Cyber Mentor, Heath Adams. And if you go over some of these courses, he has stuff like very technical things like practical penetration testing, Windows escalation, external pen testing. But then if you keep on scrolling, you'll see some other things. I'm looking for his course. You see Python and Windows Forensics, API. But here, the definitive GRC Analyst Masterclass.
Fact.
So we're going to take a look at this one really quickly. This is again by Simply Cyber or what's his name again? I forget his first and
It's
last name.
Gerald. I don't know.
Gerald.
Gerald. His
Gerald
first
is
name's
his name.
Gerald. Yeah, yeah.
Where is it? Yeah, Gerald Auger. He's
Auger,
has a PhD.
Facts,
And I
facts.
believe it's in cybersecurity.
And he teaches at the Citadel. He's a CISO for some guy body.
Yeah. So let me zoom in a little bit here. So this is a 7-hour course, right? Where he goes over like a pretty much a master class in GRC. So take a look at this class, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. And I think it's minimal, right? It's not very expensive for this class.
No,
I'm going to look at the price for I'm just zooming around.
Yeah, he's got low cost. So yeah, like you said, it's
yeah. Where is his class? I just saw it. Gerald. Let me do GRLD. There it is. Definitive Guide. And if you wanted to buy this, I'm looking to see how much it would be if you just want to buy it straight out. This course includes an all-access membership starting at $29 a month, right? Yeah. That's like a Starbucks coffee once a week or something, right? Yeah. About $5, $6 something, $7 or something. If you go $30 a month, you're gonna have access to this class along with many others. So if you are looking for that, I think it paused. Okay.
It's not moving. I don't know if you shared it too. Okay.
No, it's all good. Yeah, this one. So if you're looking for this class, you can get this for $30 a month, along with several other classes that are included. So if you're looking for that, boom, right? And I'm going to take and throw this in the chat for the GRC Master class.
You should go out and look for his website. I thought it was actually cheaper on his website.
He has a website too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a website too.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was a little cheaper, but like you said, that's just a couple of lattes. So a lot of people reach out. Not a lot of people. I probably had 10 people reach out to me because now they're trying to move to the next level of GRC. They're like, so that's kind of what made me think of my class. So I might reach out to him actually. Because I usually go to his morning show. He actually always give me a shout out. So shout out to him. So and so this I might reach out to him.
So this is the one that you were talking about. This is his he has a class. He has a home, he has his own page on Teachable. On Teachable. So he has a GRC analyst class.
So I always send people to that one. I don't know if it's cheaper, but I know that's his. And I thought he had a no cost was on there. If you tell him you struggling, I think he might let you get it, man.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Let's see. I don't see the price on here on this page, but I'll throw this on here
for
you all to be able to check that out, because I see that we're getting a lot of GRC questions in here. A lot of GRC questions. Yep.
I'm ready for them.
Okay. We talked about that one. This one, PBO. What's the best entry level GRC cert? See, we get another one. There we go.
And I think Gabe just showed it. I will start off with Dr. Gerald Auger. Then I will go, I think to get to CGRC, I think you need 3 years. So before you get there, I would just do the normal try. I would do networking plus with security plus.
Network plus, GRC, security plus, and GRC class. Yep.
Yeah, because really GRC is part of security, right? You're doing policies and programming, but to get that next level, you got to understand architecture. You got to understand networking. So I think that's going to be my next video. Then when I looked it up, CISA, that's the top. You need 5 out. The auditing. Then I would do the CIPP, which is data privacy. I think those are merging again in the future because I look at more GDPR and CCPA and New York data privacy now. So I think those are kind of merging.
Cool.
So I think that's kind of the track. I think Gabe Lux said GEIC. They're a little pricey though. When I looked up, they got
the GX certifications. GIAC.
They had a couple compliances in there, but I think they were like $3,000. I was like, "Ooh,
easily."
You gotta make a little money before you get up there. So I'm actually working
on
the videos.
Have your employer pay for it, or have your employer pay for it.
Facts, but they trying to get in for the employer play, but no, you're 100% correct. So I think I'm coming up with my next video. What I think is the GRC blueprint, and to be honest, I would start off with Gerald stuff, just to get you in, and then just kind of once I said I would do network plus and security plus. If you have none of that, I would throw the A plus in there.
That sounds like it. So then we have, I can say they just finished the Joe August class, the definitive guide. Dope. How'd you like it? How'd you enjoy the class? How do you enjoy the class? Feel free to throw it in the chat.
Yeah.
And these are the links to that GRC class for those who are interested. This is for his personal website, which is on Teachable, but also the one on the TCM Security or Heath Adams website if you all want to access that. And what's good, man? What's good? It's been a minute. Technology Interpreters. He has his own channel.
Yeah, go subscribe to my man. I like him. I've been over there in a while anyway. I've been trying to study for the CISSP, and it's not going 100%. Well.
No, it's all good. Yeah, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Thanks for coming through, man. Thanks for coming through. It's good seeing you. You say, how's the daughter? Man, she is growing. She is growing. I got here. I can share a couple of pictures here. Let me open these up and show them to the team. Let's see if I can make them larger. Let's see. Got a few. Let me see. I could pull. I think I gotta maximize them and then share. Because screen is weird. With sharing pictures, it can get a little bit difficult. So here, share really quickly. Let me do present, share, that, and then window. Okay, so yeah, this is the first one. So as you see, this is the first. This is baby one. But as you see, we also have something in the hands. We got baby two is on the way. So this is baby one's to baby two. Let me see if I go to the next one. Let's see if
baby one don't look too happy, man.
Baby one know that her spot about to get taken. She not about to get all the attention. And then
she's like, I just got the spot. Go ahead. She's like, I just got
the spot. Exactly. And then let's see. Then she got a little bit happy. The second one. Let me share the second one. Uh-oh. That's not the second one. 1 second. I gotta minimize that. Let me see if I go to it. And Macs are funny too, in the way that you present things. Let's see if I can get that screen and then share. Nope, it's not doing it. But here, this is baby one looking at baby two in a boom. There it is. There it is. So yeah, that's how the baby doing. That's how the baby doing. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. And that takes up a lot of my time too. A lot of my time.
You're just getting started, man. Wait till they get into sports, man. I was driving around the planet.
I believe it. I'm looking forward to it, man. Hopefully by that time I'll be retired. I'll be retired and doing maybe YouTube full time. Who knows, man? I'll be doing something else in real estate more full time. I can say he plans to get a Security Plus test in November. And absolutely, prayers up, man. Prayers up for you, man. Because I think that those are right. Having that GRC masterclass background, having that knowledge combined with a cybersecurity certification, I think it's just that just makes sense for you to go. Now, definitely with your networking and everything with folk who are looking for roles, definitely jump on that as well. Yep.
Then I will pick a compliance. I'm a NIST guy, IRS Pub 1075, HIPAA High Trust. Those are probably some. I'm sure you see a lot of those games. Those are kind of when you're talking about federal, big office, big pay. That's what they're kind of looking for on top.
Yeah.
Of that. And I got a compliance playlist if you want to check it out. And I'm gonna start doing more NIST stuff. So
dope. That's what's up. And in Free Zone Lou say you appreciate the tech bros and yeah, man. Anytime. Yeah. Thank you so much for the congrats. Yeah. He said, Winfrey said I'm a baby baking machine. Listen, hey,
shout out to facts, man.
You happy, man? You just make babies. I guess that's what happened. Keep it taking. Said congrats. Yeah, thank you everybody for the congrats. Yeah, baby one and baby two. Baby two on the way. Baby two cooking. She's doing, and it's another girl. So I'm about to be a double girl dad. I'm about to be a double girl dad, man. You got kids too, or do you have girls?
Me, I know I got one boy. I had him way too early. You doing yours in the right order. My son, 34, with 6 kids, man. He's too busy.
Dang, man, I could be your son, man. I could be your son right now.
My son be doing way too. And 2, he like you. He's got since he got 5 girls and finally had a boy, man. So,
listen. That's what the wife wants. She like, we're gonna keep going until a boy. I'm like, all right. That's not the goal. And she loves. Let me tell you, she loves being pregnant. She just be running around here, happy and everything.
That's cool.
She gets served, and man, it's just a good thing. It's just a good thing. That's not cyber, but cyber adjacent. Cool, cyber adjacent. Yeah.
Now, shout out to you, better get that cyber money so you can afford kids, man. Kids are expensive, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to go as high as possible, as fast as possible, to get out as quickly as possible. I'm telling you. So, like I said, the Definitive GR, he said it was excellent for the price. His view, it should be worth 3-4 times more. Okay, so boom, we have a great recommendation there for this class that I posted earlier, this master class. So yeah, definitely check it out if you are interested in going into a career in GRC. Has that?
I've had a ton of people like it. Like I said, now they're going to the next level, so they kind of ask me some more advanced class. But the base, like you said, that's super good. I think I'm a model my class after his. I got to figure out what learning platform I'm going to use. So to put my class on, I think I'm gonna put it on AWS so I can practice. So I'm debating.
And then welcome Dev Lu. It's another tech bro. He has a new channel where he goes over software engineering concepts. I think one of his videos was one of the ones where where a lot of people asked this question and he answered it. He was answering the question of what is a good programming language to start off with if you're starting from the beginning, right? In technology, even in cybersecurity, having a programming language to start off with is extremely important. And I'm looking for your channel right here. Actually, Lou, feel free to share. I'm trying to see if I can mod you up. I'm on my other channel.
Yeah, you got.
Are you a mod over here? Feel free to drop your channel link because I'm looking for it. But it doesn't pop. Oh, okay, I found it. Here, I'm about to drop this link. But you all go ahead and go over to Lou's channel, Dev Lou's channel, and sub and check his content out. Just like with Keep It Techie's channel, just like with Lou's channel, just like with Professor Black Ops channel, everybody is kind of creating this ecosystem, this digital ecosystem of tech content. So yeah, definitely check them out and go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to mod you up. It said the only thing I could do for you is I could put you in timeout. And I'm like, yo, that's not what I want to do here. So I'm gonna work on it. Actually, let me sign into my other channel really quickly. Let me sign into my other channel really quickly. And I think I can do it from my live stream. 2 seconds. And Professor Black Ops, if you have anything to add there,
like you said, I program first forever, but yeah, programming comes in handy in cybersecurity. A lot of scripting. A lot of times, we want to take our findings and put them in BI Power Builder, right? So you can look at them, sort them. You can run metrics on them. So there's different ways where all that comes in handy. Then two is AWS has their security lake. So they got this FOPL SQL. So you can put all your logs in there and consolidate them. I think they're trying to make it a SIM, but each one of those SIMs, Splunk, LCatch, OpenSearch, they all have their own programming language or scripting language. So all that helps in for you going to the next level because you want to visualize your GRC really. So
100%. But so definitely check out Dev Lou's channel. I dropped the link there in the chat, and everybody, most of the people who are here are now mods. I modded up whoever wasn't a mod previously. Pretty much anybody I can find. So feel free to drop your links. Yeah, feel free to drop your links and everything. Joey is in here. He said, "What's good?" Yeah, welcome, Joey. Welcome to the chat. And yeah, man, I think we're ready to get into the content, man. I think we're ready to get into the subject matter for today.
Oh, let me chime in on that. Why you saying
it's my homie? It's my homie. But I think you were talking about the AI thing. But the thing I'm talking about are the salaries. We're gonna be talking about inflated salaries. Is that cool? You want to jump into it? Okay. All right. So this came from a live stream maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And a good friend of mine, his name is Henry Davis. He has a channel called Textual Chatter where he goes over cybersecurity concepts, right? And he interviews a whole lot of people. And I think one of his videos was as it concerns somebody who went from around 100K to 500,000 in current in total compensation. Hey, what's good, Lou? What's good, Lou? You're welcome to the chat, man.
What's going on, yo?
Hey, not too much. I see you up there stunting with the high rise, with the with the lights at the top and everything. We up here in our own rooms. So what's good, man?
I was watching the game. I was watching the Lakers.
I was
watching football.
Let's hurry through this. So we can get to know. I was just saying. You want to say something about your channel, Lou?
No, man, I was just I was coming up
Mhm.
here, man. I wanted to chop it up. Y'all talking about inflated salaries and stuff too.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, let me go ahead and share. Kind of what I want to talk about. And like I was mentioning, so this is on Twitter, right? So one thing, this isn't bad, right? So I about to say Lou. So Henri, he shared this post on Twitter. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it so you all can see it. Actually, I'm gonna probably make us as small as possible. Let's see if I can. I want to get the best view of it so the people can see it. I just took us out there for now. But let's take a look at it, right? So this post says, you know what's trash? That during his last podcast episode, he said he discussed with his guest the total compensation that is around 500K. Now that came from an interview he did with somebody who said that they went from $100,000 in cybersecurity to $500,000 total compensation. I'm like, okay. And the thing that I was looking at is like, what is the basis for that, right? And this has come up in several other conversations. Yeah. Even Professor Blackhouse, like we had some conversations about that too. But he was saying that black people in the comments call cap. However, if my guess was a different hue, they would believe it with no question. They brought he threw the Kevin Samuels joint. So I kind of want to start off by saying, so let's change it up a little bit here. How to just make everybody on that. Okay. So I kind of want to start off by saying this, right? This isn't any type of attack or anything, but I do want to discuss this as it concerns salaries in tech and how a lot of times people will throw out high salaries. Say, you can get 500,000. You can be a millionaire tomorrow in tech. Have you all, so Professor Black Ops, I'm gonna put this to the panel. Professor Black Ops and Lou, have you heard people throw out these salaries and kind of what has been some of your initial thoughts about that?
We talked about it, so you see it all the time, and a lot of those people I do respect. I think that's the new selling tactic, though. Right? So I'm more of a mode and mean. What is the average person gonna make? But I don't think that sells. It's not glitzy enough. So, shout out to, 700, 800. We done heard all of them, $1 million, right? So I think from a selling standpoint, I think that's what the push is. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, what does the average person in cybersecurity make? And if you average, you can kill it. But once again, that doesn't sell. PBO's boring. Don't nobody want to come to my channel. So I think that's just the new selling point. So I'm going to go that to Lou and see what his take on.
How about you, Lou? What you think? How about these salaries?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, because a lot of people aren't aware of like RSUs, because most jobs don't really offer them. So it's kind of misleading, kind of sort of. Cause I see what you're saying. Like it's not 500K base salary. It's really more like it's more like a 200 salary, which is still great, But they don't, sometimes they don't really go into the depths of like RSUs, vetting schedules. You don't really get that money right off rip. So and then, you know about Blind too. I know you know about Blind. They they do the whole TC, because that's the name of the game, man. The TC wars, man. Everybody got to flex on each other.
And that's the thing, right? And I think that as you're mentioning that, like contextualizing what those salaries are, I think that's so important to people who are newer, because they don't need to think that, hey, this is base, like you're getting 500,000 base salary, right? And base salary is that money that you're receiving every 2 weeks or whenever the 2 times a month that your employer pays you. So I think it's important to say, okay, if this is 500K, what is the salary breakdown? What can you be expecting? Is that first year? Because a lot of times these high-paying tech jobs come with a first-year sign-on bonus, and that sign-on bonus doesn't continue throughout the rest of your employment. So first year, a lot of times, looks bigger than the rest of your tenure with that organization. And my thing is that let's just break it down. Let's not try to. I'm not saying that he trying to do that or anything, but let's not try to stunt. Like let's break it down for the people who don't know. If we're gonna put it out there,
that's not sexy though. Go ahead, Lou. That's not.
It's not sexy. Yeah, what you gonna say, Lou?
No,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe I mean, let me correct myself. But I'm looking at the chat, and he said King 318 says no. He wasn't saying his total salary was 500K. He was saying everything he has going on. Oh no, that's what I was saying. Okay, I thought. Okay, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything included.
No.
Yeah, including equity. Yeah,
but
RSU.
but
Go
but
ahead.
real quick, Lou, how many people make 500 though? They throwing out like that's a very few people. Very few black people make 500. Now I believe it, but if you talk about, there's only 6% of black dudes make 100, man. And we throwing 500 around like it's water. That's my only thing.
Yeah, like you can't just throw. So
Then how
so
many
like
people
King
got
318. Yeah.
RSUs? Real quick, I don't know. I know a few. I would say I know a ton of black people in tech. 60-70% of them don't get RSUs. That's
Yeah.
only for the
I
big
don't.
companies. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't get RSUs. Yeah,
Yeah.
cause I follow Tay. You know, he went to my school, college. He went to
Okay.
Southern Miss. But he's younger than me though. But
Yeah.
he a Sigma. But it's funny.
Okay.
I know he went to I think he worked at Robin Hood, if I'm not mistaken. I think he worked at
Yeah.
Robin Hood, and he got
So
like.
yeah.
I'll go ahead.
No. Keep on going, and then we'll
Oh
get into this.
no, I was gonna say yeah, because I remember he was talking about it on Twitter. He was talking about his compensation. But yeah, go ahead and play it because I think he was talking about the whole. So I just want to ask you, Gabe. So you're saying like this is kind of like kind of dangerous to kind of like say you making 500K and not breaking it down because I didn't see the video. I didn't know if he broke it down or not.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that it's dangerous. I do think it is a little misleading because many people who are not a part of this industry don't really know what that looks like, right? Most people, especially black people, like a lot of us are not in tech. So most of the audience is people who don't really understand what that salary breakdown, that total compensation is, that TC or die is. So I think in throwing those numbers out there, it really needs contextualization, and also part of what Professor Blackoff said. What is the average, right? What's the mean there? Like you think you about to jump in this mud and get at 500K? You got like 3 or 4 years of experience. Like, come on, like that's typically not the norm. And I think that without contextualizing what that salary breakdown is or where that came from, it really can leave some people ill-minded towards what the real is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
see what you're saying because it's kind of
yeah,
like people coming in, they might have rose tinted glasses thinking they could get.
yeah.
Nah,
And
that's
we've
not.
seen a lot of that, haven't we?
Oh,
We've seen folk that
Yeah,
has these rose-tinted glasses about what they're able to earn.
yeah,
And
but ain't
they
that's the new selling point though. I was just
yeah.
thinking about it, but like you said, anybody's sock I send to him, man, because I trust him. But I think we're the new Bitcoin in selling, man. We throwing out big numbers, and that's how you get to sell. So I just take it as part of the new marketing, man. So
Yeah.
like I said,
But
it's not my thing, but go ahead. So I just think that's how you sell a course. That's how you get the Patreon. That's how you get the. I just think that's the new selling point, man. So that's
now I
just my
do
two
think
cents.
that
Go ahead.
that King 318 brings up a good question or a good statement. He says, you have to watch the entire video. And I did, right? But I do think for the viewers, let's take a look at the section where they talk about compensation here. I just want to break it down here. And again, hey, this is no attack. This is just kind of trying to break down and open up the conversation, I guess, pool for all of us to dive in and take a swim. So let's take a look at what this is here.
So real quick, we want you to bless the audience a general number of like your total comp, like, because listen, I hadn't even told you, I didn't even list off where he worked at. Well, he said it already. He worked at Robin Hood. He worked at Optum, Cisco, Booz. He worked for like a startup at one point.
Yeah. So a lot of my comp is in equity right now, and we just won our lawsuit, and so in the secondary market, our stock doubled, and that's a secondary market.
So you got two different. So you got stocks and a crypto.
Yeah.
Comp? Okay.
So they actually give us a crypto token too, but so actual equity from the secondary market, it doubled. So the actual, I really don't truly know the actual value of it, but I know they did have a buyback. Well, not even buyback. They bought, a buyback and I think they did the buyback at like $68 a share or something like that. And so if I'm basing upon that number, then I probably have about I think like 550,000 in stock. But then I don't really know. So all in all, like if I'm counting my equity too, which I really can't count my equity. Like let's see.
Listen, he got to bring the calculator up. That's how much bread it
Let me
is.
see. It's close to 500. And we kind of equity. That's a part of it.
And this is just from one job. I didn't even touch on all the other stuff he's touched on other pods. I was like, this is unique. They don't know him like I know him.
Okay, I'm gonna pause there. Did that make sense to y'all? Was that clear about what the compensation structure was that equated to 500K? I'm sorry, you on mute, PBO and Lou.
I'm old, so I kind of know what he was talking about. But like you said, if you
Okay.
do industry, like you said, RSUs, did it sound like since they were Robinhood, they gave them some Bitcoin tokens. But on the other side of that, I work for a large Fortune 500 insurance company.
Okay.
We had stock options. They never hit strike price, so they were all worth zero. So so there's two sides of that. He might not get cash in if the stuff crashed tomorrow. He could be worth zero, right? So I think that's some of the context we need to talk about. Go ahead.
So let's break that down just a little bit, right? He mentioned that there was a coin, like he was offered some type of digital currency, but he also had some type of equity, right?
I'm assuming RSUs.
Some stock, some equity, some RSUs or something, right? But he said that he can't really count it because I think he said it was from a startup. Tell me how much is equity worth for startup organizations? How much is it worth?
It's usually zero until you hit strike.
Zero until you hit strike. This is not realized salary.
But it sounded like they doubled, so it sounded like he was above strike. But like you said, they didn't. I'm guessing on that.
I could be missing it. But he also said that it don't count. Like
that means it might not be strike yet. Or sometimes you got to hold it for 3 years or 5 years before you cash, right? Depending on your vesting schedule and how that works.
And I'm not trying to go at him or go at this statement or go at this salary. But what I am saying is that a lot of this to even season people is not necessarily clear as it concerns a total compensation, right? We don't really know what it is. And I see King is speaking here. A couple of people, let me hit some of these comments before we keep going. And Lou, feel free to chime in if you have anything to say about it. Yep.
Yeah. So what y'all saying, strike? Because I thought Robinhood was already public.
No, but when you get the stock, sometimes they give you get. When I interviewed with AWS, they were going to give me 60,000 every year. I couldn't cash it out for 5 years, and each year they would say, okay, it's got to get up to $70 or $80. It wasn't at that price where it was valuable yet. So it had to hit a certain stock price before they call it a strike.
But that's options. But that's options though, right?
No, they do that. Well, AWS was doing that with their RSUs. So I think
because RSU is supposed to be like it's supposed to be just general common stock.
No, AWS when I was interviewing, I don't know, because they were paying out too much money. They started when I talked to them, they had restrictions on the price. But like you're right, it does sound like
they're RSUs. They're RSUs. So like even like Google has a version of it. They call it GSUs. It's Google stock, right? So you actually have stock in the company. But they do have a vesting schedule. So you don't get it all at once. They come over a certain period of time. But we don't know what that structure is, right?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was just because when y'all were talking about the strikes, I was like, that sounds like the options because I know because you're right about the vetting schedule. Because the vetting schedule is normally like you get like 1/8, 1/4.
Yeah,
like you're right. You don't get it all at once. So yeah, I feel what you're saying.
But then he mentioned some of them have strike prices though. I think he had the coin and that, right? So I think
that's what I'm saying.
But I will say
think about being new. But yeah, go ahead, Lou.
But I will say this though, like
you.
Like, like on Blind, I mean, that's how they talk about TC though. You know what I mean? Like they talk they talk 500 TC, 700
Facts.
TC,
Facts.
you know,
Facts.
360 TC. I mean, that's just kind of how they talk, you know. And that's
Right.
you know, we all know, like, if you got 300 TC, it's, a lot of times they say TC because the base be like, 130, maybe 150, and then the
Yeah.
rest would be RSUs and stuff like that. Like, we know how it goes.
See, but even what he's talking about is even outside of that norm, right?
Yeah,
Because
now you're
he
right.
didn't
Now
just
that
say
coin,
base. Yeah, he said it's a coin somewhere in there,
yeah, I don't
and
know
that
about
it was
that.
some lawsuit that in some way it doubled what he originally his initial equity, and as a result, it's something that he really don't know. But at the same time, he don't really count it. I don't know what he's saying. It tells. I don't know. Do y'all want to hear it again or like?
I mean, well, like for me, it's just a
know.
salad. It's your call. I think it's just
know.
a salad stock. But like you said, when you talk to the layman just getting in, what does that actually mean?
Okay, I do want to address King 318 because he had some comments on this. Seem to be familiar with the concept, right? He says, "No, the guy was pretty big YouTuber, not that big of a YouTuber, but I know what you mean. His courses and also his job pays well. He hasn't been misleading." Okay, he says startups offer some comp in stocks. It's not uncommon. Yeah, but like we mentioned, that stock that is offered from startups until they reach that strike price, until they IPO, till they become public, that stock means nothing. It's a promissory note at best. It also says 100% PBO. It could be, oh, you have to have your stock vested for. Okay.
And two is we never talk about being underwater. I had a boss, not mentioning him. Once again, I worked at a Fortune 500 insurance. He had $3 million worth of stock. They never vested. So they try to buy another company. They end up going bankrupt. So all those stock options and RSUs were worthless.
Promissory notes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
now you could hit big though.
Yeah, we gotta balance that because we only talk about when you hit. Right. We never talk about, and I promise you, 70% of those startups aren't going to hit. That's why they're giving them to you because they don't have real money.
And then King says, "Hey, we say all the time that we have to make this career look sexy for the to the youth." But I think that but I think that not only like it could be sexy but clear, right? It could be sexy, but
no. Go ahead.
And that's what I'm saying. It's inflated. The numbers are inflated here because I don't even know how people get paid. I don't see the 100 to 500K. I don't see that. Honestly, I don't see it from hearing the explanation here, and I don't even think it's like as Henri said, he said that it's a black white thing. If somebody had a different hue, it'd be a whole different story. I think it's more just like this is just not clear. And it's not only is it not clear, it's not the norm. It's not the norm. Like who knows? Like I don't know who get paid in a cryptocurrency. Like is that common in fintech? I don't know.
I work in fintech. That's a no. So that's a no. I work in fintech. But once again, I think, and I know where you're coming from. And like King said, I think that's the shiny new object you're trying to get involved. That's how you grow your channel. So I just think that's the new marketing, man. But I hear what you're saying.
I want to hear some of these comments too. That's in the comment section because they was trying to go in. One of these said, let's see. Okay, he says here. He says just because you don't have the skills to get jobs like that doesn't mean other people don't. And furthermore, I take the integrity of my channel seriously. Most people that come on the show are vetted before we shoot anything. And it's not about having the skills or not having the skills. It's about the clarity of the compensation that's being presented here. Like that's my only thing. That's my only pushback here. Because 500K isn't even the norm for some of the most senior level roles within cybersecurity. There's CISOs, like CISOs, a lot of CISOs don't even get paid 500K. Some CISOs are like 250, maybe 3 max.
I work for a state, man. A lot of CISOs was like 175 when you work for the state.
I see what you're saying, Gabe. That's your point.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, man, like PBO. Even what you just said there, I already had that boy up. Look at this state level organizations, right?
See,
CISOs.
I don't want to talk too much.
CISO salaries.
As a consultant, I made more than the CISO.
Listen, these are public, right? public
Facts.
CISOs, public CTOs, CIOs for state level organizations. These are their annual salaries,
Facts.
right? They're getting 108. These are CISOs in
Facts.
Wisconsin, New Jersey,
Facts.
and it ranks them, right? These are what these salaries are, right? This is public organization. Of course, public versus the private is different, but it's not even when you talk about 500K. I don't know, man. Like it kind of muddies the water, muddies the compensation waters.
Man, we had
go
that. We had that talking. A couple people do. They're always gonna give you the top salary, though, Gabe. I mean, but like you said,
no, I don't want to, man. I don't want to do that because
we talked about that. But no, you're right. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I think other people. That's the good. Shout out to my man. What was Aiken? The A3 was. That's how you get the kids involved. Everybody get excited. You making it rain. Chris style. I want to be young and sexy like Lou again. I need to lose some weight. So shit. So that's it though. But
even this one, like I know, like, and that's another thing that we had talked about before. Is this a contract role versus a full-time role? Because we know contract roles will pay more, right? Nice. As it concerns base and total compensation in comparison to a full-time role. I mean, that might look different. You know, I'm just looking through some of these comments. Ain't that it? Because that ain't, I don't know what that means. Okay. He says, listen, that's why I keep my salary to myself, because I mentioned what I make as a scrum master. They would say that also. Okay. That just look like a little stun a little bit. This other one says, now I see a positive as to why people are transparent about their salary. Helps instill some type of motivation or hope for others. And that's where I think some of the misleading is. How people gonna be hopeful for something that isn't even like, it's like Lou. I remember, Lou, that you was talking about before how you played sports in high school, right? Or college.
Video games, yeah.
Video games, right?
Yeah.
But you thought like, oh man, I could be in the NBA.
When I played basketball, yeah. Well, I see what you said. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying like you thought that you could make it there, and I'm not saying that you couldn't have made it or anything, but the chances of you getting to that wasn't really like you came to a realization of your actual chances for getting to the NBA.
Yeah,
right.
It came to when I played against DeMarcus Cousins.
Okay.
I saw them hoop dreams is dead.
You saw the levels to it. It was a little different.
It was extreme levels. And I think that you made a good point when you said that I don't think it's necessarily about the skills. That's kind of a crazy rebuttal. If people say they don't really, or if they think the salary is a bit, kind of misleading, and you say just because you ain't got the skills to get it don't mean it's like come on. That ain't really the right rebuttal to have. I mean,
that's the normal rebuttal though. That's the sad part. That's the normal rebuttal, man.
You just mad because you can't do it, type of thing, and it's like, okay.
And like you said, I try to be super realistic. What's your average goal? And to me, if you can get in, which I mean, shout out to Black Heights, we be going at it. They talk about $100,000 like it's water now, man. And only I think now 8% of black dudes make 100, man. That is super small.
Yeah, now, I'm with you on that. Like, just go ahead. I'm like 70,000. I mean, that's a good.
Oh man,
beautiful.
They talk to you like you crazy. You talk about making 70,000.
And 70,000 for entry level roles in cybersecurity is so common. It's doable in a lot of cases. It's very doable.
The median salary is like what? 41, 42?
Oh, yeah.
So you can make 30, 40,000 above the median salary in America, right? You don't got to talk about no 500K, 600K, millionaire tech. You don't got to do all that. You don't got to do all that in order to be good at what you do. Like, I'm just saying, like, let's just contextualize.
No, man, you got to get like my one man, Black in Tech. You got to have the Porsche. So I just think that's the new marketing,
man.
It's
but
just, I'm with you, man. I'm
Black
just
old,
tech. Man. I'm 55. I'm easing out. So I think that's the new man's game, man. So, I like a little bit because they show you can get it as possible. Like you said, I think you need to contextualize. That's like Luke talking about going to the NBA, man.
Yeah.
So me, if you can get 200, man, you're killing the game.
You're killing it.
Look at
you at 200, you smoking it.
If you go to Africa, what was it? I think it was AfricanAmericans.com.
Okay.
The top 4% black families only make 200.
No,
That's
you
for a
combined.
family.
Are you talking about
Family.
You talking about black demographics?
Yeah,
Black
thanks, man.
demographic.
That's why they
Right.
lose. Kim the old guy. If you look on that, I
Yeah.
think 4%, only 4% of the black families make 200 together.
Absolutely.
So,
and then just quickly for Mind of Me, he says, to be honest, I'm trying to out bug bounty, learn pen testing. Would that be the best way to self-learn? That is a very good way to self-learn. And what's good about that you can even put that on your resume, that you're a bug bounty hunter or that you have experience there. And then you'll be very familiar with web application pen testing. So very good question. And yeah, that'll be a very good way to jump in.
And the other cool thing is, but you don't have to get a bug. I think just participating in there, just going through the formal process of trying to get a bug. If you go to blooping.com, CISA says if you break their, I think it was Diffie Hellman's encryption, they give you 13,000. I was gonna do a video on that and start practicing, man. So if I can get me my 13K. So check out Blooping the Computers. I think it's in page 1 or 2. They give, if you break their encryption for one of their top encryption, I think you get 13 bands. But go ahead.
No, that's it. I'm taking a look at the comment section too. Atkins says, I guess I'm a fool for starting from the bottom in tech support and grinding my way up. I don't think you're a fool for doing that. I do think that there's possibilities for skipping steps at times, right? You can skip steps by networking. You can skip steps by acquiring high-level certifications, and you can also skip steps by job hopping, right? You hop from one organization to another organization, and you can promote yourself from entry-level tech support to senior tech admin or something. So
Hey, kid, that's actually, from my point of view, that's the basic way to go. Tech support is a good way to go. I start off as a junior program. Just don't stay too long. Hopefully you're in your organization networking, and you can pivot to one of the other divisions inside your company, because you're in there, it makes it a lot easier to pivot. But now that's the way most people are going to do it, man. Really, start if that is at the GRC bottom, junior programming bottom. So it's all good.
Right. And I agree with you, King. Right? She says, I'm glad the salary conversation is being had in our community. Yeah, absolutely. The salary conversation is very good to have right now. Very, very good to have. I can say finally, and not being withheld, because regardless, it's a bag in tech. There definitely is a bag in tech. No question whatsoever. No question.
Facts. Brother Michael chiming in.
For real. Brother Michael, you're welcome. 70K is a good salary. It's an excellent salary. It's excellent out here. Mondami said, thanks. Anytime. Winfrey said, do you cover the impact Cisco purchasing Splunk has on them? I haven't covered that. I think it's yet to be seen yet. I think that we can have projections, or we can think about the way that it would affect the tech industry, but I don't really know yet. I don't even think the sale is final. I don't know if it's been finalized yet.
For me though, I don't think it's going to be a huge impact. You got 2 800-pound gorillas just joining forces. So I think both of their sales team going to get bigger. They're going to probably get a little more market share. I think from a stock price, it's going to take off. But I mean, both of them at the king of the hill. So I mean, what impact are you expecting? Splunk's not going to get any bigger, and Cisco, they both king of the hill in the industry. So I don't expect. Hopefully they get more interoperability from a cybersecurity perspective with logging and networking from that perspective. But they the 800-pound gorilla in both of those sections.
100%. And then even kind of speaking about some of the contextualization of some of these salaries, this is a resource I always go to. PBO know about this. Lou knows about this. Levels.fyi. This website is somewhere where individuals can report their salaries anonymously. So this is information that you're getting directly from the horse's mouth. You're getting directly from people who work for these organizations, who are giving their salaries, telling you what those salaries are. And I'm sorry, you almost you don't commonly see 500K total compensation for a lot of these cybersecurity roles. So here, just one example. I'm looking at Palo Alto Networks, one of the most popular cybersecurity companies out there, right? They make firewalls. They do all types of other type of cybersecurity services, incident response, you name it. Unit 42 is their incident response organization, and they are amazing, right? So Unit 42 and like Mandiant, like they would in so like the top incident response organizations, typically Mandiant, Palo Alto's Unit 42, Microsoft Dart, detection I don't know what the ART stands for. Microsoft Dart, and who else? I forget. It's like one more that's considered like one of those top tier organizations. Well, anyway, Palo Alto Networks. We're looking at salaries that are self-reported by organizations or by people that work in those organizations, and you can see here what some of these salaries are. Right? I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Here you have an individual who reported this 3 days ago. They're in San Diego, California. They are a T10, so that's one of the levels here. So I don't know what the levels are exactly, but a T10 seems to be pretty up there, right? They work on firewalls. They have 15 years of experience, and they've worked 8 years for Palo Alto, right? And they have a total compensation of $290, right? This is somebody who's a seasoned individual. And now we see the breakdown of their salary. They have $90K or $190K as a base salary, $60K as stock, right? So they're receiving this on some type of vesting schedule, as we were mentioning earlier, and they have $40K of a sign-on bonus, right? And they got this three days ago or something. We have other ones, right? Where 199 total compensation, 190 total comp. These are security roles, right? Because this is for like the security analysts or the security group. Security engineers, you name it. This is the category of that. 190, 290, 211, right? And this is, again, California. So these are high salaries for a place that has a high cost of living. You're not seeing no 500K here. I mean, you can even pick other organizations like, let's just say Google, right? And they have a security, let's see, overview. And you can go to, I think, salaries. Okay, and let's go to some of their security ones here. Sorry to be zooming around. You go down. Security analyst roles, right? So they have their levels here. That these are some of the total compensations: 190, 211. At an L5, this is considered a senior level, right? 224 or so, right? And then when you look at some of what the self-reported salaries are, we're seeing here 135. This is a L2. This is somebody who's definitely entry level, right? For Google, who's working in a security capacity. Seeing somebody, this is a Sydney, Australia. That don't count.
Yeah,
seeing
but
somebody
real quick,
in New York.
The L2 got 6 years of experience, so they want you to have experience in there. So even though it's entry for them,
boom,
they want you to have 6 years in that networking to get in that game to get that type of money.
Yep. This one is in New York, 200K base. They didn't report anything else. So they might have a 250K total compensation, and they're working in security. Somebody who's a junior, 190 base. And again, these are some high cost living places: Los Angeles, California, New York. This one is kind of up there for Houston, Texas. So they're probably really eating here. They're probably really eating. We're seeing some other higher things, right? We're seeing some 316.
And that's 15 years of experience.
That's 15 years experience. Again, security roles for some of the top levels cybersecurity and tech organizations in the world. So and you can even you can even organize this by like top salaries, right? So we're seeing the top salary that we see here. This is probably a malware reverse engineer. They're at L7. So this is like principal. Let's see, L5 is senior, L6 is principal. So this is like a staff. This is a person that's like a staff individual, right? 12 years of experience. This person is probably a malware reverse engineer. So when they get malware, this person probably figures out exactly where everything is coming from, what the 0 day everything is. 260 as a base, 365 as stock annually. So they have a vesting schedule, right? So I don't know. Let's see. They typically put the vesting schedule at the top somewhere, but they have a vesting schedule of where they receive this total of $365,000 a year. They have a 65K sign-on bonus. This is at the top. This person's at the top of their game, okay? And they have a 690 total compensation. And this person probably is from Mandiant, right? I bet. This other individual, 396, right? Infrastructure security. They're at L5 senior level. I mean, do you see from the top, one of the top tech organizations in the world, the people at the top who have self-reported their salaries, you don't even see a common thread of 500K total compensation here. So again, we got to contextualize it. That's all I gotta say. Like I don't mean to beat the horse over the head, but I'm just saying, like, we got to be real. We got to be real here. That's all. That's all
I
I'm
saw
saying.
one. It was almost 700. Can you? It was 690. What was that? It said
Yeah,
malware.
690.
Yeah.
That was that malware reverse engineer person. So that person is
Yeah.
probably like that person has probably found Russia a
Facts.
lot of places. This person is in it. That person is in the thick of the cybersecurity game, top of the
Yeah.
game.
Because if
Yeah.
they mess up, you're gonna have malware running through your organization. So,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
mess with none of that. But go ahead.
Yeah.
What about
And this person said, "What about field technician for some positions?" Yeah, field technicians. I think that's like a step above like that entry level where you start to go into the field, you start to install routers, switches, and wiring. Like you do a lot of that. So yeah, that's definitely in line.
And a lot of times those big
Said you funny.
companies, when
Yeah.
you talking about that, they setting up global wins for national companies. Which
Yeah.
again, I worked at a Fortune 500 company. We had offices in Brazil, man. It was like one network. I dropped something in Japan one day. It felt like it was on the room next door. It was so quick. So when you doing that, and you talking about buying your own lease lines,
Yeah.
handling your own dark fiber, that's why those guys make that money.
Right. Right. And King says established company. Think of the salaries when Apple and Microsoft, when they were startups, the janitor is probably a millionaire now. Probably like those people who were there day one. Yeah. But it's so many, like it's so little organizations that make it to the prowess or to the top of the mountain like a Microsoft or an Apple. That's why I'm saying when people are brand new to cybersecurity, they need to understand, or tech in general, they need to understand what's practical, what's most likely, right? Like we even had this conversation like around different spaces on YouTube talking about like marriage, right? There's a certain divorce rate for married couples, and it's like having the information is the most important thing. Knowing what the numbers are, knowing what the chances are, knowing what the factors are that contribute to a positive or long-lasting marriage versus something that ends in divorce. I think those are all factors that are important. Same thing with these salaries. Knowing what the salary structure is, knowing what skills and levels there are for these organizations, knowing the likelihood of people being able to acquire 500K role. I think all of that is important to people really understanding and really being able to say, hey, this is something plausible for me and my career path. That's all I got. Like I feel like I'm really beating a dead horse, but I'm just responding to the comments. I'm sorry, y'all got anything on that?
No, I think you said it. Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
No, I don't. No, I'm tracking what you're saying. So basically,
Yeah.
what you're saying, like the when Tay gave his salary breakdown, it just wasn't. It was kind of mystical and and it's not reflective of the salaries you kind of see across the board in cybersecurity, and you are in cybersecurity too.
Yeah.
So I mean, because like even in like software engineering, I mean, you don't really see 500K a lot of times until like what was it, like L9 and Google. I mean, you don't really see 500K like that.
Nah,
I
not
mean,
really.
and if you are, you're in San Francisco,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lou. You finish your thought.
No, I was gonna say that's what I asked you, Gabe. So are you saying like we should be mindful of the salaries we kind of share, or okay.
I do
put them
think
in context.
you should be put them in context. Like I keep
context.
saying, like contextualizing what these salaries are. Because when people are brand new, they have no idea. They don't really know like the like what's very like what's possible. Because they might be thinking like, hey, I could jump out here and be like so and so. I can jump out here and make this and make that. When it's like you new in it, and I think having all the information and the knowledge behind these compensation packages is important because it also helps you be able to negotiate. Right? You get certain information, you're able to negotiate a salary. Like imagine somebody coming in there like, yeah, I want 500K. I want 500K, and like, excuse me, like I'm. Like the recruiter might think you crazy, and so I'm not saying that that's common, but at the same time, I do think people just need the information. That's all I'm.
I got you.
Saying.
I feel you saying.
Yeah. Anything else? I think we're about to close out. I'm not a long streamer.
Let me answer that one question real quick that you highlighted real quick.
Yeah.
The difference between the public sector and the private sector is Gabe showed you the money in the public sector is a lot less, but your job is a lot more stable. and 2, in the
Right.
public sector, they the only one that's got defined benefits, meaning you can get a pension.
Yeah.
So if you work 10 years at the state, you might get half of your salary plus 55. If you stay for 20 years, you might get 80% of your salary until you die plus medical, depending on the state. Right.
Yep.
So a lot of times they believe the pension equals, I won't say equal, but bring you a little closer to. And even the Fed, if you go look at grade 13, I was offered a grade 13, but I think the top of a grade 13, I think was like 125 or 130. But once again, they were offering me a pension. Trying to get a 14 in the government is super hard. But that's kind of the main difference is the Fed's a lot more stable. You got less chance of getting fired. A lot of times your tech's not as good. Private sector, a little more risk, a lot more upside to make money. So I always tell a lot of young people is depending on what state you is, I would jump and work for the state for 2 or 3 years. Indiana, Chicago, New York, they have the best technology on the planet. Cisco, Oracle, AWS Cloud. I work with young guys. After 3 years, they left and doubled their salary because they got hands-on. And if they went to a private sector, I don't think they would have got to touch that level of equipment that quick. So I always tell people, if you could take that shorter pay for a couple of years at the state, you become an Oracle DBA, of course, AWS Cloud Engineer, Azure Cloud Engineer, one of those things. Then you could, like I said, guys, seriously, they were leaving after 3 years and doubling their salary.
Absolutely.
You said after 3
we got
years
before the billions. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lou.
My bad, Gabe. Yeah, what's up, B2B? I was just signing off with Professor Black. I said 3 years is great. What's up, B2B? Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, man? Do you got anything on this? You've been listening in about the salaries, me beating the dead horse?
BB, right where you at. Go ahead. BB,
right.
where you at? Go ahead, BB.
Yeah, there's a few things. So I was here since the beginning. And so I was so the first thing that you were asking about was AI. Has it taken your job? Nope, it has not. It hasn't done anything. Honestly, a lot of companies, from what I'm seeing, is they have policies about AI using ChatGPT and these other ChatGPT clones that use OpenAI's APIs, and charging people money and stuff like that for it. A lot of people, if they don't sanitize the data that they put into ChatGPT, if they don't change up and anonymize the code that they put into it, you're just training OpenAI's algorithm to be able to,
with your sensitive company information.
Real quick, B2B, that's our company policy. If you put any company proprietary information or even put our logo in there, you get that escorted out the door. Go ahead, B2B.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it's nowhere near about to take people's jobs or anything like that. It's really just a tool.
Wasn't that the predictions? Like, weren't those the predictions they were saying? Listen, by the end of the year.
I came late, Gabe. I didn't know you talked about that. I came late.
No, it was quick. No. Feel free to cook on it. Like, we had the home stretch here. Yeah.
Those doomsday, man. I did a video on that on my channel about the GitHub CEO. He even said that there's so much demand for software development, engineering, coding in general, that artificial intelligence it can't even match it. I mean, it's not. And like you said, I know you say this all the time. It's a tool. It's not. It's not a replacement. It's more of a tool than anything. You can't replace a hammer. Can't replace the carpenter.
Right.
So I don't understand why people keep trying to make it seem like, oh, don't get into tech. Oh, AI gonna take your job. You wasting your time. That's just some. Man, they've been trying to take everything about the key. Remember, everything trying to take our job.
Automation was gonna take us out. Yeah.
Low code, no code, supposed to take my job. I embrace that, to be honest. I actually think low code, no code.
Full house.
What's up, Keep It Techie?
What's up, Keep It?
What's happening?
Yeah, low code, no code, and AI. I think, man, that's gonna help. Anything to help my job tremendously. Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic. What's up, Keep It Techie?
Hey, I'm about to match the panel, man. I'm about to cam down. But the cam down.
You want me to cam up, bro? I mean,
no, it's cool. We got a cam down panel because everybody don't have to cam up. Yeah,
I don't want to
the home
disrespect the
stretch.
panel. I just be walking around. I'll be walking around the house and everything. I don't want to.
No, you good? No. Just show that address, so that a license plate. Let me see all that. Yeah, scam. Yeah, but no, go ahead, keep it techie. What's up, man? You got anything on AI? What's up? You got anything on AI taking your job? Like what you got going on?
Not really. I mean, Luke kind of covered it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a tool. You know what I'm saying? At least right now, it's a tool. Now, I do see certain aspects of the job going away, but that's with any tool. It's similar to, I look at it like those automation tools like Ansible. That's a tool. You can set that up on a server, and like typically you would have to go through multiple servers to, let's say, edit a configuration file on some servers you got in the cloud or whatever, where you can use Ansible and you can write that out in an Ansible playbook and push it out to, let's say, 100 whatever servers you got to configure with that configuration. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a tool, to help you be more efficient in your job. That's the way I see it.
But real quick, and I agree with you, but I had, like you said, a little pushback, just a little bit but like Keep It Techie said, where it used to be, I was on a team of 5. Now with automation, hell, I could do all that by myself. I can handle 100 servers, right? So it's not taking away jobs, but I don't think instead of needing 5, 10 people, you can do it with 3, right? Is that what you're saying, Keep It Techie?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. I don't put words in your mouth.
That is true, because that is I would say the downside to it, because if you could do your job more efficiently, there's no need. The company is going to realize there's no need for X amount of employees that are doing the exact same thing. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with you there on that point.
Right.
But go ahead.
My fault. But like you said, is we in such a shortage, like Lou said, everybody said, it's not like they're taking jobs. It's able so we can keep up, because we're 1 million cybersecurity people. I think we're 500,000 developers short, and B2Bs and data lakes and engineering. All those spots are looking for people. So I think automation just helps us keep up. It's not taking any jobs away at this point.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was gonna say, PBO. That a lot of those people probably are gonna get pushed into the shortages. So you're right on point. That's exactly what I was gonna hit on. But go ahead, Gabe. I'm sorry.
Now I was gonna also say, I think that still skilled tech professionals are extremely still needed even to this day. I don't think that AI can replace those individuals, because skilled tech professionals are at a shortage. It's not as many people as it was before. And I'm not saying that like people are just not as good, but I think that there's been more of a flood of an influx of individuals jumping into tech who are more early in their career field, right? It's novices. There's way more novices than there are like very experienced individuals. So using artificial intelligence to speed up some of the work that the profession, like the experts do, is something that I think is there, but I don't think it's replacing those experts, because that expertise came over years and years of experience. So it's just a language model isn't going to do it.
Yeah, but I think
answer it.
Like you brought up, that those language models are done by experts, so they can build infrastructure, right? Or the AI writes code coming from GitHub, hopefully what the experts built, right? So they give you the blueprint to make you for you to do automation, to make it easier for you to build, right? So I think that's where your skill. Then as a junior person comes on, you can give them the Ansible script or the cloud image that they use. They don't have to build. They just click the image and it's gonna build. Right now, if your website goes down, you get automatic failover in AWS and Azure. In the old days, you have to do that shit manually, right? So I think that's where not even the AI. That's where your top guys come in, because they're building those scripts. They're building those images. They're building those cloud formation templates and all those, like you said, configuration things. And I think that's where your top guys come in, and that's where they get paid, because they know what that stuff is.
Well,
so I don't
problem with that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the problem with that though is, you may just hand a script over to a younger guy coming in, and let's say you retire, like, do they even understand that? Let's say something breaks. Let's say one of these code repositories or whatever the Ansible script is using, whatever language, are they going to even be able to fix that? So it has to be a transfer of knowledge as well, or at least documentation as well.
You're incorrect. Go ahead.
No, I'm incorrect.
Can I add in on that too?
Hold on, let me jump in. Let me go real quick, B2B.
Well, let B2B go. Let B2B go.
Let me go real quick. Let me go. I got 2
PBO.
seconds. Both of y'all right, but all of y'all been on systems like we can't touch it because we don't know what to do and we ain't got no documentation. I'm right. Y'all seen that, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not just rich, but I see that a lot. I've been on systems. Don't touch it. Don't nobody. We don't really know what it does. But go ahead. Go ahead, B2B. I'm throwing B2B.
But yeah, I was going to say that one thing that I noticed is, especially for companies that have high turnover, especially since they're trying to be moving back to going into the office, which is proven to increase the turnover rate at companies. When you have software engineering and they're creating these scripts, very complex SQL queries, very complex Python scripts and such of the matter, you will have people who won't be able to upgrade things and they have to outsource and get people who are contractors who may be of a higher in experience level, but they won't be able to just get somebody else in here who just knows how to do everything, which is why you see so many companies with like these old COBOL infrastructures and stuff like that, and they pay these people like, what was it, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Yep. And that's the thing that people don't talk about. A lot of times the old folk who retire, they don't talk about how a lot of times the retirement plan at times is bringing them back as contractors, to do the same job that they was doing before, but just for way more money. Like when I used to work at the nuclear plant, my manager, my supervisor, he had retired and he was still there 4 or 5 years later as a contractor, doing the same exact job, getting paid double and triple. So that's the thing.
Yeah, we got guys from Raytheon. I mean, we got that going on too. Like they just got brought on, they collecting check. Yeah, no, that's a fact.
That's it. Just to maintain those older systems, and because people don't talk about this either, the business logic. The business logic of that organization is extremely important, and it's not something that's always just straightforward. Those people who have that, what is it called? It's called native knowledge or internal knowledge of the organization. They know how all the systems work. They know how everything connects. They know what makes the critical systems, the stuff that makes the business go make money. They know more of that than anybody else within the organization. So, and just like B2B was saying, if it's not formalized, it's not going to get passed on to anybody else. So yeah.
When I worked at DoD, it was like that. I was working on this program, and it was a accounting system, and I did something as account receivable. And the big guy came over and said, "Man, you're gonna break posting if you do that." I go, "Where the hell you write that down at, man? How are you supposed to know that?" He was the only one, because it was like 1,000 tables. It was only 2 guys that knew every 1,000 tables. I'm like, dude, I'm in charge of AR. I don't give a shit what happens in AP, but you can break something because there's no documentation. But we all know that's technical debt. So sooner or later, you're going to have to pay it off sooner or later. And that's why, and I always tease young guys, we're going to easily upgrade this system. I'm like, no, you're not.
Not at all.
You know what? When you say that, BBO, it makes me think. I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that adding more documentation can either improve your career stability or harm it at a specific company? Because I like to create documentation, presentations. I'll get together, do a knowledge sharing meeting, and then put like a slide deck together. I'll write documentation for all the fields and everything else that people can use, new people as well. But I've heard somebody say that, okay, you've held them, you gave them something that they can replace you.
That's both sides of that, PBO. When I go in as a consultant, I expect to replace myself. You're going to pay me well, and I'm going to train your staff up, right? Because a lot of people want to hold this onto the knowledge, but if you're in a company, you're like, dude, so it's 2 sides of that. You are right. If you're the old guy, you don't want the young guy coming in, document everything, because then that makes it easier to migrate. But 2 is, you just think that's a killer way for you to get promoted because everybody hates doing documentation. So you're doing the dirty work most people don't hate. So a lot of people gonna love you because somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I was going to say is that don't just do it just to do it, but do it and attach it to performance goals. Like make sure that it's documented, make sure to say, hey, my goal for this quarter or my goal for this year is to be able to increase our templates or our knowledge transfer within our organization, within our group, and then make sure it's attached to some type of bonus, something that's attached to some type of compensation. So yeah.
But the other part of that B2B is that's kind of my beef with Agile. Y'all be so agile, people don't do the documentation, they don't have traceability, they walking around with sticky notes. I'm like, where is this at, man? What repository we put in? Because a lot of people, because companies get paid for features, right? Documentation is almost like a technical debt you need to do, but you don't have to do it immediately.
That's
right?
very true.
So that's kind of the trade-off. When you click on your new game, you don't be asking where the documentation at. You be like, where's the new feature at, right? So that there's the pluses and minuses on that.
Hey, PBO, right. is that a technical? Is that like a legit term, or that's something you made up?
Which one? Traceability.
Technical debt.
No, that's a real term, Google.
That's a real term. Yeah.
It's part of Agile. The young guys will tell you that. Yeah, that was coming in when I was getting out of programming. Yeah. So and two is I worked at DoD. There was a ton of technical debt. So when you upgrade, you got to figure, okay, we're going to use this new database. We're going to use this new version of Java. We're going to use this version of Spring. What's the new techniques? We was using shit we did in like 2000s, man. So you got to keep up with the new stuff.
You know what? And one thing that I noticed that one thing that I noticed that helps if you are trying to go down the route of doing documentation for technical debt is to take notes very frequently.
Oh, facts. You can't do it without
when you go through these meetings.
But Absolutely. 2 is that's number 1. But 2 is a lot of technical debt. It's old code in there, so you got to open it up. And half the time the code is dead. It's not even getting called. So you got to get your Jira up or something that can go through and highlight when you test it what code is actually being used. This dude documented some code. We figured out, man, this shit ain't never being called. So it's a whole, it's a whole different game in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I think Lou, you had came off mute for a second. You have anything to throw in there?
I had kind of forgot. It was
it's all good.
it was man, I think it was something about we were talking about documentation. But yeah, I mean, y'all hit it on the head. You know, I like documentation. I've had to write documentation as well, B2B. Yeah, and I don't know if that's what I remember. I don't know if I agree when people say, you replacing yourself, because that just kind of creates a toxic kind of situation where like not everybody want to hold all the knowledge and you know what I'm saying. Not nobody want to help nobody. Gatekeeper. Like, it's like, bro,
gatekeeper.
You gotta help the new people, bro. I mean, and you can't hold it all.
No, I agree with you, but you see it, man.
PBO, this is the PBO coming out.
Yeah,
PBO.
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen it, Lou, where people don't want to share stuff. People get scared. So I'm sure you see people like, dude, why you want to explain what that module do? So
I think people do that who not confident in their skills. They're not confident that they can be employed tomorrow.
I agree. I agree, Gabe, because the guy at my job, anytime you got a question, he's a senior engineer. Anytime you got a question, he help everybody. He take time out. It could be it could sound dumb, you know what I mean? It could be something like a simple question. He don't care, and he always change the Confluence page, updating stuff.
Yep.
I mean, so I agree with you on that. And everybody rock with him. You know what I mean? Everybody know, that's who you call. So I 100% agree with you on that, Gabe.
That's it.
And Gabe, just to add on to what you're saying, man, it's almost like I think I've used this term before, but intellectually lazy.
Yeah.
Because some people they'll get to the point where they fully understand all the particulars of their job and they want to hold on to the knowledge and they don't want to learn that new. Well, you could potentially get left behind when new technology come out because you're just focused on, I understand this one thing, very, very well, you know what I'm saying? And you could potentially get left behind. So
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that when we're looking at organizations that we might want to work at, those are some questions that I'm not specifically that question, but evaluating organizations based on that type of culture. right? Is there one guy that's the everything guy, and they hiring you in to just be his lackey? You know what I mean? Like, what type of organizational structure is this? Is this really? Are they sharing information? Are people growing? Are they implementing newer technologies? Like what? Like I think that we need to look out for those type of things when we're going to different organizations. Because I used to work for Ford, right? Ford Motor Company, probably one of the oldest type of company culture organization where one person holds all the information for one little piece of thing. Dog, it was horrible. I couldn't learn anything because everybody wanted to hold on to everything.
Because they were scared, like you said.
Everybody was scared.
I worked with some of the top consultants, and I think that, like you said, they were free. They would tell you anything you want, so you would just learn, you know. And two is like you said, I would tell them, let me do the stuff you don't want, right? So, but like you said, that's how you learn, and hopefully people share. But like you said, you get a lot of jobs, and I've seen people want to hold on to information. They scared that they want to train you, or you're not part of their clique. So I've seen it a couple different ways.
You know what?
And like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, Gabe. Well, keep it taking. You can go first. I'm going to tell a quick story related.
No,
I
was just going to quickly point out that's one of the things I think a lot of people learn when they get into the military as well, and that's why I heavily promote the military somewhat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't pushing people, but you know, if you want to go, it's a good thing for you. You know, just building character and all that stuff. Well, they get that out of you in the military, as far as holding on to a particular job, because they always talk about, okay, you could go down this road today. You have all the knowledge about a specific, you know, task or something that you do. If you don't share that knowledge, you could go down the road and get blown up by IED, and all that knowledge is lost. So they really promote the cross training. You know, people learning other people's jobs. So if something happens to that person, you know, somebody can hop right in and take on and keep moving forward with whatever mission that it is.
There we go. Yes. There we go. That makes a lot of sense.
So Gabe, I wanted to bring up a quick story. It's about, and I remember somebody else had talked about this before, but back when I started in the previous job, I was not getting set up for success. What I mean by that is that I went into the team first week in the company, and then none of my team members would speak to me except for my manager and my senior lead. Those are only two people who would speak to me. And then I was like sit next to people. I didn't have a desk at that time, but I was sitting next to people. And I'll ask them a question, and then I'll say, "Hey, you know, can I speak with you about, you know, this? I've never used Elasticsearch before." And then okay, well, set up a meeting with me, you know, later. And I'm sitting right next to the person, and he's like, and he's not doing anything. He's the person who is over Elasticsearch.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, I was like, "Hey, you know, can you help me out with this?" He's like, "Oh, I'll get back to you later." And then he's talking to the other coworker, you know, just having a regular conversation or something like that. And I was thinking, like, is this for real? Like, are they really not? And then he didn't show up to the meeting. So it was like, and I didn't have access for things. So I was sitting here like, okay, what do I do in order to, you know, be successful in this role? Because they're not.
That was gonna be my next question. How did you overcome that?
Or so what I did was I did overcome it. What I did was I had to reach out to several people. I did actually talk to my manager about it, which was a good and or bad thing, right? Because speaking to HR can set you up for failure. I did not know that at the time.
But you should have called me.
All right, but this is years ago. And I spoke with my manager about it, and I got connected with another person on a different team. But he understood the infrastructure enough to be able to help me out with understanding things. So then I reached out to him. We had several meetings with each other for several days. I took notes, and then I was able to finish the project because they were rushing me. The first week I got my computer, got into the company, got my project, and then they said, "Hey, I need you to hurry up." My manager came up to my desk, well, the desk I was renting for that day, and said, "Hey, I need you to go ahead and finish this." So I was like, "Dang, it's only been the third day."
So that sounds like something that you've implemented in your career where you're like, I don't want nobody else to go through this. Let me go ahead and document processes, make templates, do little meetings and everything. So to catch people up who are coming in. Okay. So that's become a part of your, what's that? Like your corporate persona,
Identity.
your corporate ID. Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Man. Because I went through that and I said, man, I don't want anybody else to have to go through that because it was so frustrating to go through not being able to speak to anybody because I'm the only black person on the team and then I'm also new.
Yep.
And then it's like and I remember the first conflict I ever got into with a team member in corporate was with one of the people who did not want to speak to me. They ended up putting us on a project together. And it was a very complex project. I had to pull data from one company and put it into our process, so that way other companies could use that data using the API.
Yeah.
And I had never done that before, and I, had to write this long script.
Why didn't they want to speak to you? I'm so confused by like just people just not speaking to you, just because they don't want
to this day, I do not know exactly why they didn't want to speak. They spoke to me when we had a project together. That was the only time they actually spoke to me. It was only about work. But what happened, how I went through it was, we had this project, and he said like we were going through it. It took like a week or two, and he said something that just was like I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like I didn't know what a transaction log table was. So what he told me was, so I asked him. I said, "Oh, hey, I changed this and then it started to work." He said, obviously, or of course it worked because you changed the transaction log table. I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know what that was. We never explained that before. And I kind of let him know, like, hey, I kind of feel kind of rushed to finish this, but we have never explained what this does. And then he just goes off on me.
What?
He
No,
went
As your
off on me
coworker?
as my coworker. He said, but
Oh
you
no.
should never speak to the manager like that. It is my coworker.
What?
He said you should. He said something along the lines of, I could have been finished this before, but I'm letting you do it. Like
Whoa.
I could have been finished this, and then I said, okay, and I talked to HR about it. I talked to my
Yeah.
recruiter,
Yeah.
and then
That's what they're there for. Yeah.
and then I told him about it. He said, I can understand where you're coming from because to you it sounds like, hey, he's calling you stupid. He's saying,
he
oh,
was. He wasn't trying. He called you stupid.
He
Don't
did.
mistake that.
right.
Don't be nice to him. I'd have punched him in his throat. But go ahead.
But you know what my
Yeah.
recruiter told me to do? It's early on in my
What?
career. My recruiter told me, he said, I can understand what you where you're coming from, but he told me to apologize for any misunderstandings that
What?
may have happened.
Yep.
And to try and work through whatever the issue is,
Oh
and
no.
have a separate meeting with him from this. And I took with his advice. I did exactly what he said. We went through. I apologized for any
Word.
misunderstandings. And
You a better man than me, because I would.
but you know what? It was early on, and I did not
Facts.
know what microaggressions or disrespect was
Yeah.
in corporate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the party, man.
That's the thing, man. It's just
Welcome to the party, man.
it's difficult navigating these type of experiences at times, man. Like I know apologies that it is
Yep.
difficult navigating them when they're new to you. Like I know that, man. I've had so many different situations
Oh yeah.
where it's just like it's just been a lot of that.
Yeah, but B2B, that really, and two is you got to figure out what your organization is. If you're the only black person there, sometimes you got to bend the knee, man. And you did the right thing.
Not bend the knee.
You got
What
to
y'all
bend
think of
the
that?
knee.
What y'all think of that?
All right, I don't know. All right, hold on. I don't know.
Go ahead, Lou.
Go ahead, Lou.
What's
Go
your
ahead,
take?
Lou.
What's your take
I
on
don't
bending
know.
the knee? Yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, if you're the only black person there, I don't think you should tolerate disrespect. I don't agree with that. I mean, because
You got to pick your battles, though, Lou. I'm with you, Lou, but I try to pick my battles.
Well, I mean, when I say tolerate this, I mean pick the battle. I mean, I'm not saying go upside the head or DDT him, nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, it's just I mean, like I said, I guess you already solved the issue, right? I guess anybody listening, there's ways to be assertive and respectful, right? There's a lot of ways you have to stand up for yourself and in a lot of work environments, because it really shouldn't be talking crazy, and that kind of tells a lot about the organization and people talking like that. If they talking like that in organization, I'm like, it's just no professionalism, man. It's just everything.
Listen, Matthew with it. He said sometimes you got to bite your tongue to secure the bag.
I'm throwing this to Lou. Is there's always about 4 or 5 people they can't lose, and those are usually the assholes that's gonna come at you. So a lot of times, unless they stab you, they're not gonna fire those guys, man. So,
you know what?
But I'm just throwing that out. Go ahead.
The thing about it, so some more context to it too. So the guy, he was an Indian guy, right? He went off on me. My recruiter was black. So he told me, he said, "Hey, look, to us, that's a form of disrespect, and we kind of have to go along with because the guy was Indian. That's just how they speak. That's how their culture is." Yep, that's exactly what he told me. He said,
"You're
"That's
not
just
in India, though. Like you're not in."
You're right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But that's what he told me. He said that that's just the way that they speak. And
in India,
as you go as you go forward within your career, you'll come across more and more people, and it's true. They do talk like that a lot of the time. And they do it just in corporate in general. You're gonna come across somebody being disrespectful towards you in a corporate way. But the reason I felt like I couldn't really do anything in that situation is because I had just got laid off from my previous job.
Facts.
And I was like, oh, I really needed this job.
That's real though. That's real. That's
pick
real.
Your battles. Go ahead, Gabe. Pick your battles.
Listen, when you know that's your fool, you might be in a situation where you like, I might, just like Matthew said, might bite your tongue. In that case, hey, it's all up to you. It's all up to you.
Yeah.
Yep. I barely got through the interview. I was like,
Indians be tough, man. I worked with a big Indian staff before, man. They, like you said, they move a little different, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Keep it taking. What do you think about that, or Lou? What do you guys think about that?
I remember you told me about this story.
This is a different one, because I think the last one was with an Indian lady, right?
Yeah, it was an Indian lady the last time. She tried to slide on me.
Yeah. But no, this is the one when you was at Delta, right? When you worked at Delta, right?
No, that was different, because I went for an interview at Delta. The interview I told you about.
And they had disrespected you at the interview.
So
right?
did. That guy did not like me for whatever reason. He didn't like his life though, because he was telling me about his kids not finding him to be a good role model or something like that. He's finding him lame. But
oh wow.
But yeah, so this is a totally different situation.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man.
I mean, hey, what do you think?
I've been reprimanded before. I've talked. I mean, it happens, right? But I haven't never been. But that's different than being like disrespected. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't like oh man, you trash. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I could have been did this. It was it was kind of that's crazy. Like
I've been in some of those situations, like not like that exactly, but so even recently, so like within consulting firms, they have these levels, right? You have a lot of different levels. So I'm at a manager level at my firm, but then you have what you call managing directors. So it's like me, then there's a senior manager, then above the senior manager is a director, then above the director is like a senior director, and then above a senior director is a managing director, right? So a managing director was like on my helmet for something that he wanted me to do. And I kept telling him like, hey, I have other priorities. I have client delivery right now, and I cannot prioritize your request. At the moment that I get free, I will respond back to you on the timeline that I'm able to deliver the request that you're asking for me. This dude kept messaging me on Teams. He started calling me out of nowhere. He called my cell phone. I kept ignoring him. He asked what my reporting chain was and who my manager, who my supervisor manager was. I listed about 4-5 different people. I said, pick one. I said, listen, you can reach out to any of these people if you want. Then he started calling me again, started sending emails, copying everybody on stuff. I was like, all right, we ain't gonna have this. I told my manager, I was like, listen, I'm gonna call this person because this person is this manager director is disrespecting me. He said, wait, hold up. I said, no, I got it. So I called the dude. I called the guy, and my manager is just on hold because you just need another party to be informed about what your actions are so that it's just not his word against your word. You need some type of paper trail or something, right? So I called him. I'm like, hey, since we like to call people, like I didn't say that, but that's the energy I'm approaching it with. Since we like to call people out of nowhere, let's have a conversation. So I told him, hey, I'm taking your continuous messages without me having a chance to respond as disrespect. I told you that I had a priority that aligned with a customer deliverable, but yet you continue to message me and continue to message my leadership structure. I'm taking this as disrespect. He was saying like, hey, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but this is a coaching moment. I'm like, I'm not asking for coaching. Okay. I said that I'll get to what you need me to get to when I got time. So we just kept going back and forth on this. And then he kind of calmed down, and I calmed down. And he said, hey, I understand that you said that this was disrespectful. What can I do to make this different? I'm like, happy you asked. Don't call me out of nowhere. If I don't get a chance to respond back to you, don't call my phone. Don't message my managers. Wait for me to respond back before you get back with me. We can start there. And he said, thank you for that. And we can move forward like that. Hey, boom. We ain't never had no problems since then. But I do think that there is a professional way to address this disrespect. Yeah.
But
I just pause there. Like
but your chain was receptive to that. A lot of times when people poke you, they know people in your chain before you do if you knew. Because when I was the first supervisor, I would try to reprimand. They would go around me because they were cool with my chain above me. So I'm stuck in this hole because I'm like, okay. Every time I try, he went around me, and my chain was on his side.
See,
right?
and
you got.
And I think it was similar. So
a
managing director is above even in the majority of my chain, right? This person is. You talk about these 500K salaries. These people are 500 to 750 or so, right? That's what they. Some of them making $1 million, right?
Yeah, I can believe it.
So these people are at the top. I was like, I'm taking this as disrespect. All right, like I'm sorry, I gotta let him know because he gonna keep on doing the same thing if I don't say anything. So I just man, yeah, it was just a lot. But I know what you mean.
You know what, Gabe? Now that you brought it up, you asked me initially about salaries and my thought on the salaries in tech.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I made that video about old dude lying about making people a millionaire and $500,000, and people told on me about that live stream to the person.
Oh, really?
They sure did.
He struck it down.
No, it didn't get taken down because I'm not making like a whole channel talking about the dude or nothing like that.
Yeah, like an expose or something.
Yeah, it's just more so like I'm more so talking about like them scamming pretty much or them lying.
Isn't that dude in Atlanta too?
He's in Miami, I think. He used to be in Atlanta, then he moved to Miami. But that's the thing is that when people talk about these high salaries, and then you see them on private jets and having these very expensive vehicles like Porsches and Mercedes Benz and stuff like that.
That dude had a Lamborghini Urus.
Yeah, Lamborghini. He got 2 cars. He got Porsche and he got a Lamborghini or something like that.
He's talking about that black is a new tech.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Tech is a new black. Guess what I forgot. Yeah, what I said.
That's close enough, Lou.
It's close enough, man. But so my thing is that when you see that, it gives an unrealistic viewpoint of what you can actually make in tech. because just like how you said, the person who's making $500 to $750,000 a year
Yep.
into the millions is somebody who's had so much experience. They at least in their 50s or 60s.
This person is a 20+ year person that's been with our firm. 23, 24 years with the firm. So when you talk about those people who've been with the organization when they first started, this person has seen all types of iterations and have ascended to the top. Right.
Exactly. Not somebody who just finished doing Uber, and
Nah.
then he goes into going to tech sales, and then he
Nah.
can make $500,000 his first year, and then $1 million
Nah.
off a podcast.
Nah.
And the podcast only getting like 1,000 views, on
This guy,
average.
yeah.
You
And
know
when
what
he
I
don't
mean?
put and when he don't put ads on it. I know who you talking about. I know exactly who you talking about.
Yeah. So my thing
Yeah.
is that it's just when people tell, because the only reason I cared enough to talk about it was because people who I know are actually interested in it, who aren't in tech,
Yep.
who think that, oh, if I listen to him, then I'll be able to get in. And then the person who even told on me, who spoke to him about it, he even talking about it on Twitter, talking about, oh man, this guy's a liar and all this other. I was like, see, I told you.
They see a bag.
They
see a
DM'd
bag in
him.
it.
They
Oh
DM'd him
man.
about the experience. Probably spent the money on it.
They probably about to, but yeah, man, it'd be like that, man.
Oh, that's
It'd
crazy.
be like that. It'd be like that. But me and Henri, like I'm cool. I have Henri number. Like we text from time to time, but so hopefully that it's been communicated that I'm not coming at him. I'm just really trying to contextualize what that salary was. So hopefully that was there. But
Hey,
if you got a problem, like
you talking about
if you got
Henri?
text, yeah,
text or chatter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't see that part. But
yeah, that was the
you talking
majority.
about the cybersecurity dude?
Yeah.
Tay on tech.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of was like, I can see this is the thing. I did see that interview, and I did see what Henri posted on his Twitter, talking about because he's black, that's why people don't believe that he makes $500K plus total compensation.
Nah, it was because it's because that's just not the norm.
Exactly.
That's why it was a little bit more. It was a bit more difficult to believe. But I mean, he broke it down to some degree, but it really wasn't that clear, at least to me. I could be ignorant. Call me ignorant. I could be that. So I don't know. I just leave it where it is. But at the same time, I try to get people the real. I try to get individuals the real. Not that it's better or anything, but just break it down. Break down the salary. That's all I'm saying.
But you know what these people will never do is they will never show you their tax returns.
No, chill.
That's a good point.
You trying to bring out my black air? You trying to bring out my black Air Force energy? You gotta chill. You gotta chill. Because I don't want to go too long.
You know what's funny? The only dude I've seen actually show it's like he in tech sales, and I think he in Chicago, and he's the only person I've seen show his tax returns. He don't want to show his W-2s.
You know about Antoine Wade?
No, him too though, but not. It's a white guy.
He showed them boys. He showed us.
And he got experience.
Black Height showed his stuff. I think on his
Black Heights. What I'm talking about.
Him too though. But that's another guy. He does tech sales too. I think he does it for AWS. I think.
See, but that's a whole different thing. Enterprise tech sales. You got like it's a whole sales in general. You have a higher like your ceiling is almost infinite based upon your performance and based upon and there's also ebbs and flows, right? It could be up, it could be down. Like you never know where it can go. So it's not necessarily like something that's always consistent, but you could probably make millions in tech sales regularly.
Oh, facts. I know a couple.
If you work for a certain organization,
Oracle guys used to make that because the price of Oracle was so damn high.
Right. And the demand, organizations, pre-existing contracts, like service contracts. Like there's so many, so many tech services, tech products that come with money that you can get revenue off of or sales revenue off of. So yeah, man.
You know what? I didn't even know like defense contract. I didn't know they had like a sales component. Like when they get the contracts from the
I'm
government.
not familiar. I am not familiar with that. I know independent contractors. Is that what you're talking about? That sell like that's primes and sub primes, like that type of
kind
stuff.
of well, like some like I'll give an example. Like you'll say like Lockheed Martin might or Northrop Grumman might have, like, let's say like a sub. You're right, like a subcontractor under like Northrop Grumman, they could come in and like kind of sell and get the contract from like say Raytheon or something, right? Get the contract under them. And I never really thought of it as like a sales component, but it kind of is though.
Hold on. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Lou? I'm just curious.
No, I could, like I said, I could be explaining it wrong.
No, you got it, Lou. You got it. Let me because I've seen it.
Let me hear what you say then, PBL.
Like real quick, Lou, my 5 minute cut you in is when I worked at DOD. If you go on DOD, it's a lot of generals walking around because they can walk into people's offices and figure out what you need to buy. So them generals, and they were getting like 2%. So when I first went to DOD, my company was a sub to Lockheed because Lockheed was like, there's certain contracts. You got to be a nationwide company. You got to have $100 million worth of business to bid on that stuff. Because I was surprised. I thought Lockheed was going to have a bunch of programs. He goes, no, we have a gold team. We only bid on $100 million contracts. So, but they get a cut on that, then they piece it out to all the subs. So when you go on the DOD, it'd be a ton. I mean, you went to Keep Tech, you'll see a lot of ex-military walking around because my boss was a 14. This general walked in his office. They used to work on him. He told him everything we was doing. And he sold him like $2 million worth of Oracle. And I think he got 2% of that shit. Go ahead.
And Lou, I now I understand what you're saying. You talking about like how, because PBO is right. Like that's why a lot of these big organizations, they hire ex-military, they hire generals because they got the connections. They basically brought up all the officers behind them that are taking over charge after they retire. So they got all those connections, you know what I'm saying? They know the right people to go to sell the products to from the contractors as well as, other like what we was talking about, IBM and, to sell products to the military. So yeah, I see what you're saying now. My bad. I just didn't understand right off.
Military industrial complex, right?
Yeah, because the way it was explained to me, it was kind of how he was like the way he was breaking it down, like he was kind of like a sales component. I wasn't really, like I said, I wasn't in the process, so I can't, give a whole detailed breakdown. But how he was explaining it, it was like a sales aspect to it of getting the contracts.
Well, it sounds like it's a lot of it is submitting to proposals, right? Like certain organizations have particular capabilities that the government puts out proposal requests. You submit your proposal, you do your orals where you're presenting it to the organization or the government entity, and then they accept it or not accept it. Or you can come in through, like PBO was saying, like a larger organization that already won it, and they could subcontract you to do the particular work. And you're kind of selling yourself to that organization. Right. That's kind of the way I understand it, but I could be missing something.
No, you're right. But the big company had to do the orals. So it'd be like Lockheed, Raytheon. So they got to do the orals. And I've been on both sides of that. Where I had to get an oral, I like smashing people in the oral. Because now the big thing is cybersecurity. So when people do orals, usually there's 10% of that is cybersecurity. So part of the orals, you got to, ask them questions, have them break down their architecture. Go ahead, keep it techy. But part of the oral.
No, you're right, PBL. Like in those companies, those big companies, a lot of times they're required by the government to give a certain percentage of the positions to subcontractors. So that's where those subcontractors come in. So it's stipulations in those contracts. Yeah. They have lawyers and all that crap. They go through all that stuff when they're bidding on these contracts. And then once they win the contract, they have to abide by the contract and deliver within the time frame of the contract. And that means the positions, they have to keep the positions filled to a certain percent. Because I used to be like, I did it on the government's, on the military side as well. I was a contracting officer, and we had to inspect the actual people that were providing the service to the military. So we had to verify they had the positions filled, that the people in those positions had the right credentials. So yeah, it could get deep, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Contracting is
war. Yeah.
key man clauses where this guy can never lead a project, but go ahead. Yeah,
Yep, exactly.
Because people were bait switching in 2000. They show you 10 people, and then when you look for them, they be on another contract. So they like, oh no, they ain't gonna never happen again. But and that's the thing I think we need to start talking a little bit more. RPs, R5, bidding on that stuff. Because now, well, they don't do it as much. In the old days, 10% of that had to be to a minority company. And even 10%, it'd be crumbs, but the crumbs be like $5 million. Man, I know a guy made a killing on that in the 80s. They had to give stuff to minorities. He was getting small $5 million crumbs, but it was a $100 million contract.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow. Yeah, maybe that would be the next one where we talk about RFPs, RFIs, submitting proposals, because I do a lot of that in consulting. Like I do that like a day-to-day in business development. Yeah. It might be a little boring, but we might be able to talk about it.
Yeah, I did a video. The other weird thing is, and I'm sure you like that, Gabe, is I'm surprised how many times I'm in the rooms with lawyers when you're doing RFIs and RPs, because part of that's legal, right? Force majeure, termination of convenience. Oh, that's the legal.
It's always a legal review to anything that we submit to a customer for a proposal. So yeah.
And two is that's when we were talking about. That's actually morphed over into privacy data, GDPR, CCPA for Cali. So I think all that's kind of meshing into a ball. So that's what I hope I do my course on NIST with GDPR, privacy, and data privacy, and put it on top of us Gerald's course.
Hey, Gabe, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Consulting?
Yeah, what's up?
So I've heard that in consulting, it's a lot of competition as well. I don't know if it's the same in the tech space or not.
Yeah, nah. But consulting sucks. A lot of time. It sucks for a lot of people who are newer into the field, right? So somebody who's more junior, say for instance, you come into a consulting firm, you got into the firm. You might have got able, so it's this thing called like staffed, right? They staff you to particular projects. If you're staffed to a project or an engagement, that means that there's a customer that's paying for your time, right? A customer or organization is paying for you to work on their project. Now, when that ends, guess what you have to do next? You have to find your next project. Sometimes your manager will help you do that. But other times you got to go out there and search for. It's kind of like applying to a job within a job, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. So are the jobs like within like a board at your company? Is that kind of how it works, or?
Yep, that's exactly how it is. It's like an internal system of jobs that you can apply to. Now, based upon the organization, it's not always easy. Actually, most organizations, it's not easy in order to stay staffed on projects long term. It's not always the easiest. You might be able to get on something where you're doing like some audit work or something that go long term, like a year contract. It's almost like contracting, but inside of an organization. If you're not staffed to a project or staffed to an engagement, you're on the bench. If you're on the bench, you can do stuff like training, you can do stuff like business development, you can do all types of things. But the thing about it is that if you're on the bench time counts against you. So at the end of the year, when it's time for promotions, when it's time for bonuses, if you have a low percentage rate of times that you were staffed on projects, that can count against you in you getting a higher bonus in competition. And sometimes if they see that you aren't staffed for a significant period of time, if you're on the bench for a long period of time, they'll fire you. So it can be difficult.
But let's be clear though, like Gabe would say, is Gabe's at the highest level of consulting. I'm usually at the mid-level. So when I'm hired, they're putting me long-term at the client. So I was lucky. I was on my first, because I was staff out. I was at DOD for 11, and I was at an IRS contract for 9 years. So different contracting companies, depending on what they're doing. Like Gabe said, if you go into the big boys, that's how they work, right? But two, if you're at a small company, they ain't gonna give you but 2 months on the bench and your ass is fired, right?
Yeah.
So those are kind of the difference. But usually they have you put you on a client. So if the client likes you, it's like, dude, I never went to my company. They just direct deposit my money. I never went to any company. I went to the client. I really worked for the client. I never went to the office for anything. So there's different levels of consulting. Like I said, I was staffed out permanently. I think that's the sweet spot.
Staff augmentation is long-term contracting for a
for
customer.
the sweet spot. But once again, you need to have some skill set that's gonna make you long-term. DevOps, NIST, I do assurance auditing for federal. So there's different levels of that, right? So I think staff aug, once again, I was at DOD for 11 and the state for 9, right? Which is rare though. But go ahead, Gabe.
So to unpack that staff aug a little bit, that means that a company has a deficit for a resource within their organization to do something, right? They're using a consulting firm in order to bring somebody in for a staff augmentation, which means they're paying this firm to find the person, the resource that they need for the job that they want to do. And they're keeping you on board long term because they can't go without that need. So that's what that staff augmentation is. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then. So, I mean, is it that different from like why different terms? Because that's essentially what I do as a contractor, a government contractor.
Right.
I'm placed by an organization. Well, they have to fill a position. They find the people for that position and they place me in that position. And
100%.
I don't talk to that company at all. I'm actually just contract. I mean, my direct supervisors are the people on the main contract.
Facts.
Yep. So it is similar. The thing about it is that for contractors, if you don't work, you don't get paid, right?
Yeah.
That's not how it is for these consulting firms. While you're on the bench, if you're not staffed to something, you still get your same pay every 2 weeks.
Facts.
Okay.
And they're investing. So it's almost like they have a resource pool that they're able to throw out towards any problem at any time. That's how they make their money, because they keep a bench. They keep a deep bench of people who can do stuff, and they're able to staff people almost instantly. Think of having a company, right? Your own company. You don't have the capability to do that. You don't have the deep pockets to keep people on the bench and pay them and get ready for them to be staffed to things. So I think that's probably one of the major differences.
And the other difference too, Keep It Techie, is from a state perspective is when you say you're a contractor, that's usually 2 years and less, and it is which is weird. It's a different color and a different budget. So when I first started, I was on a short-term contract. Then my big boss goes, dude, every 6 months, I got to write up why I need you. I need you to switch to this other company so I can put you on a long-term contract. So he was telling me the money's different. Like when you say contractor, that's like a year or less. I might maybe re-up you too. Staff aug means you're gonna be there at least 3 years from when I was working on my contract. Go ahead, Gabe.
Right.
Yeah, and you're right. That's the way it is with my like the company I work for. They won the contract, they won the bid with the government agency, and it's for a particular time with option years at the end of it. And so me as a sub, I'm just hired to that company as long as this contract is in place. So I get it now.
Let me chime in on that, because I got tricked. And one question you need to ask when people say, I got a 5-year contract and it's renew every year, what year are you in? I got hired with 6 months left.
So I've seen that happen.
Yeah, they didn't tell me that, but I just got lucky where they got renewed, so I kept it. So, but I'm thinking, well, hell, if y'all lost a contract, y'all set me up. I quit a job I was kind of like, so that's how many years left on this contract?
Yeah, they'll do that to you because because that's part of their performance. And that's why I brought that up earlier. When people win these government contracts, you have to staff those positions for a certain percentage of the time of the contract, or you'll get deemed. And so if they got, let's say, 6 months left on the contract, they'll find somebody and hire them, put them through the full process and everything, going through HR, getting your drug tests and all that stuff. And by the time you get into the position, the contract is ended.
Facts. They almost got me. I got lucky because they were doing well, so they got renewed for another 5. But it was 5 year with renewal every year, because I asked them why they did that. Like, dude, it's hard to break a contract. So after every year, we can break it. It's in the contract. So that's why
crazy.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense. So he's like, yeah, that's why we do renewable every year, even if it's 5-year contract. So if you do this, we just X you out the door. Go ahead, gang.
And I want to hear Aiken's question here. It says, what are everyone's thoughts on tech staffing firms? I'll start off. I don't like them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like them that much. Nah, because a lot of them are incentivized to get people to staff people on within roles in order for them to get a percentage of what they're staffing you for. Typically, there's some tech recruiters within the space that I don't really that we've had drag out arguments about, and I'm like, yo, if I could bypass a tech staffing firm recruiter, I'm going straight to either the HR or the recruiter for that organization. Like, say for instance, Amazon. I'm going straight to the Amazon recruiter or the Amazon hiring manager, and I'm trying to go past a tech staffing firm because they got all they little things that they do in order to try to get as much off of you before you even get into that role. But I don't know. I pass it.
That's true. Oh, my bad, PBO. You was finna go?
No, go ahead. I've been monopolized. Go ahead, keep it.
I was just gonna chime in. Gabe is right. I'm the same way about these tech staffing firms. That's kind of like how I started. I started with one of those positions, and it wasn't a tech position. It was just a position where I was a implementation manager, where we processed orders for businesses to install what do you call it, the fiber optic lines at a building or so when they move into a new building. So anyway, those tech staffing firms, they take a percentage. That's the part I don't like. And I know I'm gonna contradict myself because as a contractor, the same thing happens to me, and it's actually happened to me twice because I'm a subcontractor. But with those tech staffing firms, the position, you don't know it, but the contract they have with that organization that they're pulling you in to staff, they are getting X amount of dollars per hour for you. So it could be $30, and then they gonna try to lowball you as much as they can. They're gonna say, we can only afford this position for $22 an hour, and they pocket in the money for you doing the work. And that's what I always had a problem with. I mean, you're not doing anything. You was able to find me to get in this job. I get it, but not for the full length of the staffing, position where you get paid out of all the work I'm putting into this organization and you getting a cut out of it. You know what I'm saying?
I've been there. I've had that. You might have heard that conversation I had with somebody.
Yeah, I think
and they went at me, but I was like, go ahead, B2B.
Can I add in on this? So I have some experience with this. I actually work for a tech staffing firm. Or for a recruitment company, I should say, more so, because they do non-tech staffing as well. But with that, from my experience, when I first started my first job, I was a contractor working with Home Depot.
Okay.
And I was like, yes, this is the first time I got a job that makes, this much money. I felt so good about myself. And then my contract ended. I got laid off. And then the same people who I was working with, they say, oh, I feel so responsible for, your contract ending before it went contract to hire. And, I'll look for another position for you. That was a straight up lie, straight cap. He did not look for anything for me, but I had to look for myself. What I did was, one of the strategies I did was getting multiple staffing agencies to help me look for jobs. So I would apply for the multiple staffing agencies, because some of them ghost you, some of them will help you out, some of them will, testify for you to be able to get another contract position. So what I did was I went ahead and got a staffing agency to actually give me the job I have now. And later on, the same guy, it's like some years later, the same guy who was my recruiter for the previous tech staffing company, who I got laid off from, who said he was looking for me for something, he reached out to me, hey, are you in the market again? I said, no, thank you.
No, facts.
Yeah, and they be playing games, bro. Like
they do.
they'll take you to lunch or something to try to make sure you're happy and buy you. They'll take you wherever you want to go. You know what I'm saying? And buy you. And I always took advantage of it too. I was like, yeah, let me get the sirloin, you know, with the garlic mashed potatoes and all that stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
I take advantage of it because I know they taking advantage of me. You know.
Yeah.
And then also you got to watch it with those tech firms as well. I just wanted to say this one thing, and this I'll pass the mic. But when you apply through a tech, when they put you in or they submit you to an organization, you're excluded. Yeah, you're excluded from applying to that position directly with the organization. So if you went through them first, you're excluded. They will not accept your normal resume through their normal process of hiring for that position.
That's why you have to do an attestation. Like they say, hey, confirm this rate, confirm that I can submit you. Because it's something legally binding behind that.
Yep. But two though is I mean if the company wants you, they can make it happen. Like I worked at DOD and I said, but he said, dude, if you want to come on, I tell them I send all these people home. so you can get around it. But once again, like before the billion says, it's different levels to this, right? B2B is what I call a body shop. You're a body, they're gonna put you in a job and they're gonna try to take half your money. So they're gonna they're gonna try to bill you at 50, they're gonna pay you 25 and they're gonna catch you at 25. I worked at DOD. One of my mentors, cool white guy, hired me on. It's called a clean. That's what your max billable rate is. I said, man, I'm killing.
A clean is CLIN.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said CLAN. KLAN. My bad. Okay.
My bad. I'm tired. But so he showed me the clean. My clean was $75 an hour. I was making 60. He goes, man, they robbing you. He said, I'm on the other side. Come work for me. So once I saw those clean, I'm like, oh yeah, I see how this game's played. He said, man, I know you. I respect you. I want you to be 1099. I'm just gonna take $10 off the top. You can have the rest of it. So I was like,
that's crazy.
Right. Yeah, so I got to see behind the curtain. Go ahead, keep it taking.
No, I got to see behind the curtain too, bro. Like I've showed that contract in the past where I was making $250,000 a year. And I was able to see the actual contract on how much the government was paying the company I was working for those clean line numbers. Right. And it was double that.
Yeah.
So the government was paying that company double that.
Yeah.
And the company was paying me half. And yeah, they offer insurance and all this other stuff or whatever. So I understand, a certain percentage of that. But yeah, that's the way that contracting game works.
Yeah. So that other part in there to keep it techie is since I got known, people tell me go to Prime. You have a Prime, a sub, and a sub underneath of them. So each one of them is taking a piece. I seen 4 companies where everybody was taking a piece before the guy got paid.
That's crazy.
I'm like, nah, dude, I'm going straight to the Prime because I've been in this game now. So I know, okay, I'm not going to the little company. I'm trying to get to the top with Raytheon. And I know with people, they say, nah, don't go to him. I'm going to send you to the Prime. So you got to understand what type of company is it, a body shop. It might be 4 levels down. So each one of those are taking a cut before you even get paid.
I can see it. And I agree. So really, if you can bypass a tech hiring firm, a tech staffing firm, bypass them at all costs. But I think that B2B even brought up a point is to use them against each other. Use them again, get as many offers on it. That's the thing. Offers are power. Right? When you get actual offers. Actual offers, written actual offers are power. Get as many written actual offers, even from these tech staffing firms. Go through a couple of interviews or something. Have them offer you something, right? When you are talking to the organization that you really want to be a part of, use those offers as leverage in order to get the offer, the compensation that you actually want to get. It might not be 500K, but I'm sure it'll be up there. All right. And on that note, I don't know how we with this long, but
we get up out of here. Yeah, man.
One thing that I recognize, and I'm gonna say this before we end it, I see that this is needed, right? I need to have these more often, get the guys together for us to really chop it up on some tech subjects. So I'm gonna commit to having at least one of these a week. So the next one is definitely coming next week. I'll probably have it on Monday because Monday seem to be the right day. So we need to have this.
You hear that,
go ahead.
O'Shea? We taking the Hall of Game over back.
We taking this the Hall of Tech. Yeah, this the Hall of Tech. Yeah,
the tech, what they call it, the Tech Avengers.
Tech Avengers. I saw that earlier in the chat. So yeah, definitely. But on the note, but on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming up, making the stream what it is, making it real, making it very authentic, experiential, giving a lot of experiential background here, not just talking. So thank you all for coming through. And fellas, feel free to send me any subjects that you all might want to cover for next Monday. We can go ahead and hit that, and then we go from there. All right.
I got one in mind too. All right, go. All right. Hey, thanks, Gabe. Have me on.
Absolutely,
thanks,
everybody.
Gabe.
Appreciate it, man.
Anytime. If we get to it. All right, fellas. Peace. And thank you all for coming through.
Peace out.
All right, then. Bye-bye.